Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Kniff alongside Mike Frankel here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Township High School, Matt Ulmer and Bill Shawcross on the production today here on Cape Atlantic League Live. And always, Mike, a very special day in Cape Atlantic League basketball, these championship games. And rare to see it here at Egg Harbor Township. I believe this is the first time since 2010 and only the second time overall that this school has hosted this. But certainly a great facility and a great atmosphere for high school basketball today.
No doubt, Brian. It's really the marquee day of the Cape Atlantic League season. And, you know, since the inception of this tournament, even before the inception of the tournament, since the standalone game, this has been the date you circle on the calendar, right? This has been sort of the game that the casual fan also shows up to. You're seeing diehard fans in the crowd, parents and friends, but also the casual South Jersey Cape Atlantic League basketball fan shows up to this. Should be a good one. Obviously, Atlantic City and Mainland seemingly on a collision course. You know better than anyone, a lot of parity in girls basketball on the Cow this year, but, you know, when you really look at the way these teams played, the schedules, you had a sense that it was probably going to be these two teams, and here we are here today. Should be a good one. Both of them riding very long winning streaks. I believe AC has won 18 straight, Mainland winning 16 straight, so something has to give, obviously, today.
Yeah, both of those teams, Mike, you just mentioned those winning streaks. Their last losses were on January 3rd. Atlantic City actually started the year 1-4. They lost January 3rd to Hamilton, and as you said, have reeled off 18 straight. Mainland, their last loss was to Middle Township on January 3rd, and they've won 16 straight. Of course, we have the boys coming up as well. It'll be St. Augustine Prep taking on Egg Harbor Township, which is kind of a rarity where you're going to have a team playing in the championship on its home floor. But that'll come up at 2 o'clock. And a little bit about how these teams got here in Mainland and Egg Harbor Mainland and Atlantic City. So the tournament expanded, as we know, Mike, and every team was invited in. And Mainland got a first-round bye, and then they beat Millville 63-34. They got past Our Lady of Mercy Academy 42-25, and then they beat Wildwood Catholic the other night in the semifinal, 46-30. And Atlantic City as the 2 seed, they also had a bye. They beat ACIT 62-31, then got past Holy Spirit 64-47, and then they beat Middle Township 50-37 in the other semifinal. So that's the path for both of these teams, and here they are in the championship game. And this is actually a rematch from a few years ago, Mike. These two teams played back in 2020, and Atlantic City was a 63-50 winner. But as we know, with high school sports, 4 years is an eternity. The players are all different, and the only thing that's the same really is the coaching staff. So we should have a good one here today. These are, as you said, two of the best teams. You know, a lot of attention was paid to Mainland's division, that national conference. It was loaded. You know, Ocean City's in there, Middle Township, Wildwood Catholic, Our Lady of Mercy, a lot of really good basketball teams. And it was almost like Atlantic City was overlooked a little bit because their division was quote-unquote easier. But they've proven in this tournament that they're as good as anybody in this league, and they certainly have a good chance today against Mainland.
No doubt about it. And I think overlooked, too, because of the start. You talked about it. I mean, just, one win in their first 4 or 5 games. So
right.
Everyone kind of put the Lady Vikings to the side, and you know, you do that at your own risk, right? Because this is a team that hasn't lost since, and you know, you talk about how it's really just the coaching staffs that remain from that 2020 game. One player who will play today played a very big role in that game, and that's Quinera Montague, the Mississippi State-bound senior for Atlantic City. She was a freshman on that team, played some really good minutes in that game.
I believe breakout game.
Yeah,
for
no
her.
doubt about it. Close to a double-double if she didn't get it, and certainly she'll factor a big role here today.
So it's Mainland and Atlantic City. Mainland is the defending champion. They beat Wildwood Catholic in last year's tournament championship game 54-38. So Mainland looking to go back-to-back, and that has not been done in a while. The last time a team has won back-to-back girls championships was when Ocean City won 3 straight from 07 through 09. Very, very interesting there. They're about to play the national anthem at Egg Harbor Township, so we'll step away with the audio, and we'll come back with the starting lineups right after this. Okay, national anthem is complete. We're just about ready to go. Starting lineups will be announced for both teams. And as Mike mentioned, it all starts with Conera Montague. She's the senior forward, Division I scholarship, and she leads the team. 17.7 points and 12.7 rebounds. Also averages nearly 4 blocks per game. Lexi Gormley, sophomore forward. She's also in the starting lineup, along with sophomore guard Bridget Roach, senior guard Sasha Lemons, and the other senior is Zashira Jackson. She's the 5th starter. For Jason Lance's team, they're wearing the dark blues trimmed in white and light blue. And your starters for Mainland, and they are all underclassmen. It's 4 juniors and a sophomore. The sophomore is Ava Sheeran. She's a forward. Sydney Stokes is also a forward, and then 3 guards, and they are terrific. Casey Bretonis and the Mazer twins, Ava and Bella. And this Mainland team, Mike, there's a lot of balance there. Ava Mazer leads them in scoring at 12.2 a game. Casey Bretonis averages 11.5. Bella Mazer averages a tick over 10. And Sydney Stokes averages 9. So they get an awful lot of balance. Atlantic City might be the deeper team. Mainland won't go too deep into its bench, but that really has not been a problem for them all season, as obviously they've gotten to this game at 22-2.
No doubt, Brian, you're right. AC will go deeper. Mainland suffering some preseason injuries, some kids who probably would have been in the rotation, not necessarily high-end starters, but kids who would have played. And so Scott Betson won't go as deep on his bench, but you want to talk about, maybe the best collective 3 guards on one team in South Jersey. It has to be Mainland. With the Mazer twins and Bretonis. The Mazer twins will put the ball on the hoop a little bit more. Bretonis is really the engine that makes them go, though. Steady point guard, great floor game. She distributes. She can also score. And obviously this game is going to come down to how well those 3 can carry the attack for the Mustangs. 3
officials on the game, and there's 3 good ones. Frank Burbridge is the lead official. You're watching on the screen there with the ball at the center court. On the left is Doug Menz. On the right is Carolyn Jackson. Mainland wearing the whites trimmed in green and black. And Scott Betson brings a career record of 230 and 59 into this game. Jason Lance is 108 and 72. Jason obviously won his 100th career game earlier this year. Jason's in his 8th year. Scott's in his 11th with Mainland. Mainland in white, moving from left to right across your screen. So it'll be Montague for Atlantic City, jumping it up against Stokes of Mainland. And we are just about underway. The Cape Atlantic League Girls Championship game here on Cape Atlantic League Live, brought to you by the Cape Atlantic League and Ulmer's Appliance. Ball's in the air, and the tip was controlled by Atlantic City, or won by Atlantic City, but Montague hit it so hard that it went off of one of her teammates' fingers and out of bounds, so Mainland gets the first possession. And Atlantic City will play kind of a funky little zone, and it can be effective. Mainland gets it in the post. The shot by Stokes is no good. Atlantic City rebounds. Lemons going to the basket, gives it off to Roach, but she misses the layup. And it's Sydney Stokes with the rebound for Mainland. Ava Mazer now driving right. Goes to Bretonis. Bretonis is battling a little bit of a sickness, Mike, but she played very well the other night against Middle Township. Against Wildwood Catholic. Bretonis makes a great entry pass down low to Stokes, Mike, and the first basket.
Yeah, and you're already seeing Mainland utilizing Bretonis in that high post area, back-to-back possessions where she's able to catch in the high post and distribute into the low post.
Roach goes up to Lemons. Lemons gets a ball screen from Gormley. The jumper is short. Long rebound comes down to Atlantic City. And Jackson gets it back out to Lemons, who will reset. Mainland's in straight man-to-man. They are helping into the post, obviously, big time on Montague.
And Bretonis.
And we have a stoppage here, Mike. I think Montague got banged into, was a little shaken up.
Yeah,
Frank Burbage just wanted to check on her, and she's okay.
Yeah, right decision there by the officials. I saw exactly what happened, Brian. Montague sort of landed, and Bretonis came down on her leg, and
yes,
you can see that she has had knee trouble on that right side, and that's basically the leg that got kind of rolled up into. So hopefully she'll be able to sort of take a minute here and be all right.
Roach, a right elbow jumper, no good. Rebound, Ava Mazer. It was Tyson Parker who came into a freshman forward, replaces Montague. Great pass from Ava Mazer. Stokes missed the layup, though, and Parker has the rebound for Atlantic City. And Lemons will trot it up the floor for the Vikings. Looking for their first basket here. Early stages, first quarter of the CAL title game. In the post, high post to Gormley. She goes to the basket. Good move, couldn't finish. Stokes the rebound. Sheeran outlets. Bella Mazer goes to her sister Ava, fakes the shot, drives, Euro step, layup no good. Rebound Stokes, and she finishes.
Stokes has been such a post presence, and she's just gotten better as the season's gone on. I saw this Mainland team early in the year, and Stokes was sort of still coming into her own there, but she's gotten so much better in the middle for Mainland, and a big reason why the Stangs are here today.
Roach barking instructions to her teammates, working against Ava Mazer's defense. Bridget Roach to the right, shut off, doubled in the low post. She's in trouble, and that's a good play over there by Lemons. Lemons actually, it looked from here, Mike, got the loose ball and knocked it off the leg of a Mainland player.
If you're AC right now, you need someone to step up. Your best player is on the bench. You don't know when she'll be back. Lemons is maybe that player. She's had some big games for this AC Vikings team of late.
Inbounds pass ends up becoming a 50-50 ball, but Parker comes down with it for AC. Shovels off to Gormley. Foul line jumper is good.
And that's huge for Atlantic City, just to see the ball go through the net, just to settle in a little bit and get into the game here and finally get on the scoreboard.
Ava Mazer, the basketball. Mainland, a 2-point lead. Bella Mazer, a baseline drive. Shoveled into the post, and Bretonis is fouled. This will be the first free throw opportunity for either team.
And again, it's Bretonis working that high post area, Brian. So obviously Scott Betson and his staff have seen something on film, possibly even the first time these teams played, where that's an area they can exploit right now. Bertonis obviously is the point guard. She's the handler, but they're switching it up a little bit offensively. She's catching in that high post area, and you're seeing it's very effective so far.
Mike mentioned the first time these teams played, Mainland won at 40-28 all the way back on December 17th. Second of 2 free throws here for Casey Bertonis. She missed the first.
Montague back into the game as well, so a great sign for Atlantic City Vikings fans.
Second one's also no good, but Ava Mazer comes down with the rebound, giving Mainland another crack at it here. Pass into the post to Stokes, shoveled it to Bertonis. She dips in, no good, but I'm going to say a travel.
Yeah, it looked like defenders down low had position. Probably the right call there, Brian. You know, Bertonis maybe trying to make something happen there where it wasn't necessarily there.
Mainland extended its defense out, but now they'll drop off as Lemons walks it up across the division line. Goes to Gormley. Tipped away. The pass was tipped away by Stokes. Outlet pass. Bella Mazer's layup is good.
So Stokes, we sung her praises on the offensive end, but right there you can see how much better she's gotten defensively too. I mean, obviously, you know, going against some big size down there, and you're seeing Bertonis guard Montague, but Stokes is able to come over and help and force that turnover.
Gormley, they tried to get it to Gormley in the post. Bella Mazer tipped it away. She goes the other way, misses the layup, and now Ava Mazer's going to get called for an over-the-back foul as Zashira Jackson of AC had inside position there.
Yeah, it's interesting, Brian, watching Mainland on defense here, and obviously they started the game one way, and then when Montague went out, they sort of switched. But it is Bertonis who's given up some size, but certainly a tough defender, trying to play Montague in the low post. And as we talked about, it's Stokes trying to play some help down there. But it's you don't want to say mismatch, right, because Bertonis is so tough defensively, but certainly giving up some height down low.
This is Eileen Roach. She turns it over. Ava Mazer is fouled at half court by Zashira Jackson. And now Bridget Roach will come in, replace her sister. Mainland a 4-point lead in the ball here as we just moved past the midway point of the first quarter. High post pass to Bertonis. It was tipped out of bounds as Atlantic City now trying to take away that high post where Mainland, as Mike had mentioned, has been so effective offensively so far in this game. Here's Bertonis. Takes it left, hands off to Sheeran. Bad pass, stolen away by Bridget Roach. Outlets to Lemons, and she finishes.
Vikings are dangerous on the run, Brian, excuse me. They like to get up and down. Mainland, not that they can't run, the Mustangs like to play more of a half-court game, but if the Vikings can get out a run today, that plays to their advantage.
Now AC really extending its defense. Stokes goes high post to Bertonis. Foul line jumper, rattles in and out. Rebound taken by Bella Mazer. Here's Ava Mazer for 3. Off the iron, no good. Montague, great rebound. And an even better outlet pass to Roach, who missed the layup. Bertonis the rebound for Mainland, and now the Mustangs look to push. Ava Mazer down the lane, no good. Rebound followed up and in by Ava Sheeran.
What a play by Sheeran. I mean, any offense that she can give you for Mainland is a bonus. She follows the shot there. It was Montague that altered the shot, but good hustle there from Sheeran.
Yeah, you know, Mike, a lot of times when you have two good teams, two good defensive teams in girls basketball, a lot of times it comes down to who can get the most easy baskets. And that was an easy one there for Mainland on a good follow by Ava Sheeran. There's a foul. And Bella Mazer didn't like the call. I think, Mike, the whistle was a little late, but it was the correct call.
Yeah, almost as if because it didn't come immediately, Bella thought it was a clean play.
Exactly.
And then sort of she kind of had to reach back in to get the ball fully, and that's when the whistle came in.
Right. 8-4, Mainland on top. 2:26 to go first quarter. Lemons the basketball for AC. Hands off to Gormley. They run a weave at the top, and now we have a foul here on Bertonis.
Betson beside himself on that. I mean, obviously, you know, Bratonis is going to have to avoid foul trouble today, giving up size on the defensive end. She's so vital to stay on the court for Mainland. And, you know, there was contact there, but obviously that's not a foul you want to commit if you're the Stangs.
Yeah, and it's one of those where, you know, it's one of those rules that they're really harping on about freedom of movement. Anytime a defender puts two hands on someone, it's going to be an automatic foul. And that's what happened there. Driving is Parker, excuse me, and now she's fouled.
So you saw really Mainland avoid foul trouble for most of the first quarter, and now they're starting to pile up a little bit. I mean, I don't believe anyone has two yet, but again, we talked about it off the top. Mainland is not a deep team, not a deep rotation, so it's something to keep an eye on a little bit more than your average team that'll play maybe 7-8 kids. Mainland really likes to go only about 6 deep.
Tyson Parker at the line for 2. That foul went against Stokes. Parker certainly takes her time on her free throws, and the first one is good.
I was going to say, is there a nail that wasn't hammered all the way in near the foul line there? It's certainly in the court now.
Yes, it is. Maybe she likes to knock a little air out of the ball, you know, Mike?
Everyone has their own routine. I can't say I've seen one like this, but it works for her.
Yeah. And in and out on that free throw, and we have a foul. No, not a foul. We have a lane violation called on Mainland. So this is going to give Parker another crack at it. And Tyson Parker, the freshman forward, knocks it down. So she takes advantage of the lane violation to make the second. And Atlantic City cuts Mainland's lead to 2. Inside 2 minutes to go first quarter. Thanks for joining us here for the Cape Atlantic League Championship games. We'll have the boys coming up at 2 o'clock. Bratonis, great pass down low. Reverse layup, no good by Bella Mazer. And Gormley comes down with the rebound for Atlantic City. Lemons driving right. Blocked by Ava Sheeran and out of bounds.
Good help defense there by the Mustangs. Sheeran was there, but Stokes had slid over as well. Lemons is a player that can certainly take the opposition off the bounce, and thought she had an angle there, and the Mustangs shut it down quickly.
They lob it into Montague. No good. That was defended well by Mainland. And the Mustangs with possession, leading by 2. Ava Mazer in the high post of Bratonis. Bounced down low. I believe that pass was kicked. I had people in front of me, Mike, but I went off the officials.
Definitive kicking motion there?
Yes. Doug Menz looked awfully athletic making that call. Great inbound play as they find Bratonis on the left block for a layup.
And again, for people who maybe haven't seen Mainland, Bratonis is a guard, right? She's a point guard, but she does play low because Mainland doesn't have a lot of size necessarily, aside from Stokes.
And talking to the coaching staff before the game, Mike, they wanted to put one of their better offensive players in that high post and let her make the correct decisions. So far, it's been working for Mainland. They have a 4-point lead inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Gormley fakes a 17-footer, drives, and her pass is stolen away by Bratonis. She's trying to run, doesn't have the numbers, but she splits 2 defenders, goes to the basket, got it in a foul.
Just such an underrated player, Brian. Again, the Mazers really, I mean, they get a lot of the headlines, and deservedly so. I mean, they can score in bunches, but like we mentioned off the top, you know, Bratonis is the engine. She doesn't always put up 15, 20 points a game, but she just makes the Mustangs go.
30-second timeout is called by Atlantic City. Jane Mead is going to check in to the game. She'll be the first sub for Mainland. She's a senior forward, and she's the only senior on this team. This is a young team for Mainland, who leads 12-6 here with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Mead providing that senior leadership, Ryan. It is rare to have such a good team be such a young team. And, you know, certainly this is a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. But, you know, the future is now kind of thing, right? I mean, this is a team that expects to not only win today, but, you know, to win a South Jersey Group 3 championship and maybe progress in the state tournament. So they're not thinking about next year. They're certainly thinking about this year. But Meade does provide sort of that senior voice, that leadership off the bench for this squad.
So Casey Bertonis, who has 4 points, but she is 0 for 2 at the line, out of the timeout, will try to complete a three-point play and give Mainland its largest lead so far. And the free throw, that one's also no good. Montague the rebound. And now here comes Atlantic City. 30 seconds to play in the period. Bounced in the post to Gormley, backs in. Nice move, Lexi Gormley, and a great entry pass by Sasha Lemons.
That certainly looked like a set play, Brian. Looked like something AC saw in the first 7+ minutes, and they wanted to try to utilize Gormley.
And Gormley's a very important player for Atlantic City because Montague draws so much attention. She's going to get her opportunities in that low post, and she took advantage there. Ava Mazer, a little out of control here, and this is going to go over to Atlantic City.
So a chance here for the Vikings. Not a lot of time, 2.8 on the clock, but they see if they can run something here.
That's actually a really good no call by the officials there. Mazer really tried to force her way in. So we'll see if Atlantic City can get a shot off. They're going to throw it deep. Montague comes down with it, heaves it, but the shot actually hits something hanging from the ceiling, so that is out of bounds as time expires. 12-8 Mainland after the first quarter. Thanks for joining us here on Cape Atlantic League Live, brought to you by the Cape Atlantic League and Ulmer's Appliance. And it's Mainland leading Atlantic City by 4 as we head to the second quarter of this Cape Atlantic League Girls Championship game. EHT and St. Augustine Prep, the boys game coming up at 2, and we'll have that for you as well right here on this same channel.
You haven't seen Montague really get into the flow yet, Brian. You know, probably a product of picking up that early injury that, you know, thankfully for her and the Vikings, she was able to come back on the floor for. But, you know, you talked about it. She commands a lot of attention. So AC is so far doing its best hanging in there by finding some other players to score the basketball. Gormley has 4 points so far. You know, you have Lemons with a pair and obviously Parker off the bench. So, you know, for Atlantic City to win this game, make no mistake, Montague is going to have to get involved. But Atlantic City staying afloat so far.
Well, Montague the other night, Mike, against Middle Township, was held to 2 points in the first half, and a lot of that was because of foul trouble. She only played 6 or 7 minutes in the first half because she had picked up 2 early fouls. But she came out in that third quarter and scored 11 points in the period, finished with 15 for the game, and had 8 rebounds and 4 blocks. So, you know, even though Montague may not have done much and she didn't score in the first quarter here, she can certainly turn it on almost at any time and become a major factor in this basketball game. So Atlantic City will have it as we start the second period. Got a nice crowd here at EHT. EHT might be the biggest gym in the Cape Atlantic League, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. And it's really filling in nicely for this girls' game.
Yeah. Lemons goes in the post to Gormley. It was tipped by Stokes, but Gormley's able to retrieve. Lemons drives, goes back to Gormley. Little 12-footer, no good. Rebound brought down by Jackson. And then Ava Mazer comes up with the loose ball, shovels it to Sydney Stokes, who is fouled.
What a heads-up play by Mazer. You know, Ava was on the deck. She was able to grab that ball down there and then have the presence of mind to give it up right away before Atlantic City was able to tie her up.
And so Mainland a 4-point lead in the ball here, their first possession of the second quarter. Bertonis goes over to Ava Mazer, open for 3, but the ball didn't come out of her hands right. It was a bad miss. But Bertonis cleans up the rebound, and she is fouled.
Bertonis knew it right away, too. She's seen her teammates shoot threes enough to know that one didn't look right, and she got it right off of the backboard there.
It almost looked like, Mike, that Ava Mazer, right at the end of her release, that the ball kind of ends a little bit, and she kind of throw her hands up in frustration.
Yeah, you mentioned battling an illness earlier this week. It also looks like she took some contact to one of her eyes, you know, during the past week, too. I mean, look, no excuses, obviously, from the free throw line if she makes the second. But, you know, this has been in a condensed season. We can get into that later. But some tired legs, I think, for a lot of these kids playing today.
And a lot of kids across the high school basketball landscape in South Jersey dealing with illnesses at this time of year. You have to fight through it. Here's Roach. Doubled at the top of the key. Steps through it nicely. But now the ball's loose on the floor, and Mainland has it. Ava Mazer over to her sister Bella in the post. Jump hook off the glass, no good. Rebound is loose. Sheeran comes up with it, shovels it out to Bertonis. It's a little bit of a hot potato here, and Bertonis does the smart thing and pulls it out, and will reset things for Mainland, which leads by 5, 6:40 to go in the second quarter. Brian Kniff alongside Mike Frankel, Bill Shawcross, Matt Ulmer on the production behind the scenes here. Ava Mazer drives, and she is fouled on the pass. And that's going to be the 7th foul, though, on Atlantic City, and that's going to send Ava Mazer to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, big
or
story.
check that, Mike. Actually, they must have put the foul up quickly. It's the 6th foul on Atlantic City, so it's still an inbound. Right in the Stokes, and she's stripped by Lemons, who has the basketball for Atlantic City. Lemons down the lane, up and under move, no good. Stokes the rebound, Bella Mazer pushes. Bella Mazer up the right, stops, pulls up for 3, short. Long rebound will come out to Sheeran as she beats Lemons to the ball. Bertonis steps in. Good move, but then lost the handle. I think Montague may have tipped that away. And now Ava Mazer has it. Mainland trying to get a timeout, and the officials don't hear it, and the Mustangs turn it over. Here's Lemons to the basket, no good. Rebound to Stokes. Ava Mazer shovels it up to Bella. Her layup is good. And now Mainland finally gets its timeout.
Frenetic pace to this one, Brian. Mainland wanted one before, but you know what? It ended up working out well for the Mustangs.
Yes, it did. 15-8, they lead Atlantic City with 5:45 to go in the second quarter. And right now, Mike, defensively, Mainland has really been on point.
They have, Brian. They have, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a situation where you're going against one of the better players, not only in the Cape Atlantic League, but one of the better players in South Jersey and in the state, in Quinera Montague down low, obviously headed to Mississippi State next season. And really, Mainland has been able to shut her down so far. We talked about it. I mean, there was an injury early on. You're not exactly sure how much Montague is dealing with that right now, trying to play through it, what the situation is. But, you know, right now, Mainland is taking care of business down low. Really, it's been a yeoman's work from Casey Bertonis. You know, Bertonis has been leading the charge not only on offense but on defense, but good help defense from Mainland. And so far, if you're, you know, Scott Betson and the Mainland Mustangs, you have to be thrilled about the position your team's in.
Yeah, they lead at 15-8, 5:45 to go second quarter. And Atlantic City will have the basketball. Vikings with just 3 field goals so far. And they've yet to score in this second quarter with 5:40 to go. Now they're going to put Montague in the high post area. Lemons with the basketball. Picked up by Sheeran. Goes to Roach on the right wing. Roach a dribble handoff with Montague. Tried a long pass into the post, stolen away by Stokes. Here goes Ava Mazer behind the back to Bertonis. Up and under move, no good. Rebound Montague. Outlets to Lemons. Lemons to the basket. Got it in a foul. What a finish.
Lemons knew that contact was coming, Brian, from Bella Mazer. You know, I think if you're Mazer, you have to either make sure she's not able to convert or just leave that alone. But what a tough play there by Sasha Lemons, able to just drive right through that contact and score. You don't see it a whole lot in the girls' game, but great upper body strength there to finish.
Jane Mead will come in for Bella Mazer, who just picked up her second foul. And here's Sasha Lemons to the line to try to complete the three-point play. The free throw is short. Sheeran the rebound for Mainland. Casey Bertonis hands off to Ava Sheeran. Sheeran dribbles left. Lemons really hounding her. Bertonis with it now against the defense of Parker. Bertonis around a screen by Stokes, goes to the basket, is fouled from behind by Quinera Cherry Montague.
Yeah, Montague not thrilled with that call. I guess they're going to say that maybe there's some contact on the head, but, you know, it's just, obviously that time was a foul, but we've seen Montague, if she doesn't block shots, Brian, she's affecting shots. I mean, Mainland a couple possessions ago, at basically a 2-on-1 break, came away empty because of Montague's presence.
Yes.
But something to keep an eye on. Obviously, if you're AC, you can't have her get into foul trouble. That is just her first of the day.
Bertones' free throw spins in and out. She is just 1 for 6 from the line. Second one is good. And her form looked perfect on that second one. If she can repeat that the rest of the way, maybe she'll be okay at the line. 16-10 Mainland. Atlantic City the ball. Traveling with it is Sasha Lemons. Good defense by Ava Mazer there. As Roach tried to go backdoor, she was open. But the pressure caused the shuffling of the feet there. Here's Bertones, and she's fouled by Parker. And that's not a good foul by Tyson Parker, Mike, because you commit a foul 25 feet from the basket on the dribbler, and now Bertones will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
No doubt. You want to play tough defense, obviously, if you're Atlantic City, but, you know, you have to kind of slide. If you get beat off the dribble out there, you have to rely on your teammates to slide over and help. You can't be committing those fouls.
First one in and out on the front end of the 1-and-1. And Parker has the basketball for Atlantic City. Here's Montague. And she'll do this at times, handle the ball herself on the perimeter. Jump stop, kicks the Lemons for 3. Off the iron, no good. Great box out by Bertones. And then Bertones ends up tipping the rebound to Ava Mazer, and Mainland has the basketball. Off a ball screen, driving, little hook shot, no good. Rebound in the post by Stokes, that's no good. Another rebound by Mainland, a 3 for Sheeran, bang. And Mainland has its largest lead at 9.
And again, it's Montague altering shots in the post, but if you're Mainland, you know, more points from Sheeran is a bonus, and that's just smart offense from the Mustangs. Find the open player. She doesn't score a bunch, but wide open, take the 3, why not?
Sheeran with 5, and it's Atlantic City by 9. Here's a jumper on the way for 3 by Cecilia Murata, who checked in on the last substitution. That was no good. Mainland with the basketball. Ava Mazer down low, too high for Stokes. She kicks it out. Bertones for 3. That's an air ball. And we're going to have a foul on Jane Mead over the back. Good box out there by Tyson Parker, the freshman. 6th team foul on Mainland, and first foul on Mead.
And if you're Atlantic City now, Brian, you know, where does that offense come from? It's been sort of stuck in neutral here. The Vikings worked their way back into the game in that first quarter, but again, Montague still scoreless. Who is going to be able to step up and try to chip into this deficit here for AC?
Roach falls to the floor with the basketball, picked off by Mainland, but Parker takes it right back for the Vikings. She'll bring it left, shovels it to Murata, and now Atlantic City settles things down. Lemons turns and looks for instruction from Jason Lance and the coaching staff. Lemons goes left, and now here it is with Quinera Cherry Montague. Jump stop, jump shot, no good. Rebound brought down by Ava Mazer of Mainland.
And Bertones, again, hounding Montague. I mean, look, she struggled at the free throw line today, but, you know, other than that, she's played so tough both on offense and certainly on defense, Brian.
Mainland spreading the floor here as Atlantic City goes back to man-to-man. Great job by Casey Bertones stepping to that basketball, and that causes a foul. It's such a fundamentally sound play. If she doesn't step to that ball, Sasha Lemons is going the other way for a layup attempt. But because she did, she absorbed contact, and now she'll go to the line for another 1-and-1. But obviously, her free throw struggles in this game have been well chronicled by us so far. That one is good. She'll get another. Bertones is 3 for 9 from the line. She has 7 points. And the second one is good. Atlantic City has scored just 2 points in this second period. Mainland has outscored them 9-2 so far in the period. Lemons hands off to Parker. Parker over to Roach. Roach for 3. Rattles it home. Big basket there for Atlantic City. Bridget Roach on the right wing three-pointer.
It's what we talked about. Who else was going to step up and put the ball in the hoop? It was Roach, and we'll see if that can maybe get the Vikings going late in the second here.
Bertones to the basket, stripped by Lemons, got the ball back, shoveled it over to Mead. And now it's Ava Mazer driving, shooting, no good. Rebound Stokes, no good but a foul. And Sydney Stokes will go to the line for 2 shots. And this is the first Mainland player other than Bertones to go to the line here, Mike, in this game so far.
Stokes has been good down low, Brian. Help defense, rebounding there, altering shots. So she's been efficient so far for Mainland.
Free throw by Stokes is no good. She has 4 points in the game. Both baskets came in the first quarter. Second free throw is also no good. Rebound to Montague. And here comes Sasha Lemons. Little weave on the perimeter here, but now Roach has it. They'll reset, and now it's Murata on the left. Dribbles toward the lane, kicks across the Lemons. Lemons drives, off the glass, no good. Rebound brought down by Mainland Stokes. And we'll check the stats at halftime, Mike, but Stokes has a bushel full of rebounds in this game so far. Here is Mainland with the basketball. Ava Mazer goes to Sydney Stokes. Now it's Bertones, Casey Bertones. You can hear Mainland coach Scott Betson calling a play in the background. And Mainland looks like they're going to try to hold for one here as they're running a triangle delay at the top of the key. Here's Stokes. Ava Mazer now. Tried to drive right, shut off. Goes to the basket, no good. Rebound brought down by Montague. Roach and Mazer are both still down, coming to their feet slowly. Lemons with the basketball with 6 seconds to go. Trying to break her defender down. Goes to Montague. Montague steps in, 12-footer. Got it at the horn. Big basket there. Quinera Cherry Montague's first points of the first half comes on a buzzer-beating shot at the end of the first half, and it's 21-15 Mainland as Atlantic City gets the final 5 of the first half after Mainland had taken an 11-point lead.
Just feels like such a big swing, right? Mainland had an opportunity to take the final shot of the quarter, maybe go up by that much more into halftime, but they're unable to get a good look. They leave time on the clock, and boy, what a shot in the arm for AC, not only on the scoreboard, but to get Montague on the score sheet. Maybe that gets her going in the second half.
So here's your points at halftime. First for Atlantic City. Lexi Gormley has 4, along with Sasha Lemons. Bridget Roach with 3, Quinera Cherry Montague and Tyson Parker each with 2. For Mainland, Casey Bertones has 8, Ava Sheeran with 5, and Bella Mazer and Sydney Stokes with 4 apiece. And here at the half, it is 21-15 Mainland in the Cape Atlantic League championship game. And as Mainland outscores Atlantic City 9-7 in the period, but Atlantic City did get the final 5 of that first half. So a little momentum for the Vikings as they go into halftime. So we're going to step aside for a couple of minutes, and before the start of the second half, we'll come back. We'll give you some of the full stats, and we'll be back with the second half of the Cape Atlantic League Girls Championship game right here on Cape Atlantic League Live, brought to you by the Cape Atlantic League and Ulmer's Appliance. All right, back for the second half here on Cape Atlantic League Live. The Cape Atlantic League Championship games. Right now it's the girls' game at halftime. Mainland leading Atlantic City 21-15. And one of the stories of that first half, you know, you kind of got the impression that at Mainland a little bit was kind of controlling play in that first half, Mike, but part of the reason why the score is only a 6-point advantage for the Mustangs is Mainland's only 5 for 12 from the foul line, and two of the misses were front ends of 1-and-1s.
Yeah, not a recipe to win games, certainly not a recipe to win big games, Brian, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, it sounds simple, it is simple, you got to make free throws to win big games, but even, you know, with the Mustangs' struggles at the free throw line, still a 6-point lead. It was a little bit of a boost for AC going into halftime there as Montague was able to hit that shot at the buzzer. And we talked about it before the break. We'll see if that gets Quinera going a little bit. Again, she had the knee injury. She has that brace. Not sure if it was the same leg, but certainly it looked like it affected her a little bit. But back out there trying to tough it out. And, you know, Mainland obviously needs to clean things up from the free throw line, but still pretty good shape for the Mustangs, up 6 so far.
And Mainland right now out rebounding Atlantic City 24-14. Sydney Stokes has 9 rebounds for Mainland, and Mainland has 10 offensive rebounds. Mustangs the basketball to start. Starters are back in for both teams. There's a block by Montague, but Stokes follows it up and in. It's another offensive rebound for Mainland. Sydney Stokes now is in double digits in rebounds with 10, and she has 6 points. Mainland by 8. And Jackson passes across, tipped out of bounds by Mainland. So it's Zashira Jackson, Sasha Lemons. Actually, Tyson Parker's in the starting lineup for the second half for Atlantic City. Montague, of course, and Bridget Roach. Here's a 3 by Jackson that's no good. Mainland got the rebound. So it's Ava and Bella Mazer, Ava Sheeran, Sydney Stokes, and Casey Bertonis. Bertonis was stripped right there. Somehow Bertonis came up with the loose ball, and we're going to have a timeout call by Mainland after Bella Mazer grabbed the basketball. Scott Betson quickly calling a 30-second timeout to save his team's possession there. And you know, those 50-50 balls, boy, Mainland was really relentless going after that loose ball there, Mike.
Yeah, and relentless on the boards too, Brian. You know, I think really what it is, having now seen, you know, a half plus almost a minute of this game, Montague is doing her job down low. She's either blocking or altering shots. Now, the rest of the Vikings aren't blocking out, aren't getting to those balls that are missing off of the rim, off of the glass, you know, for Mainland. So that's why the Mustangs have so many offensive rebounds right now. Montague, she's doing what she does. She's, as we said, blocking, altering, but the other Vikings have to do a better job crashing the boards, sliding over, trying to get some of these rebounds. If you give up so many second, third opportunities, it doesn't matter how poorly the Mustangs shoot from the free throw line, not a recipe to win.
They tried to enter at the Stokes. Montague broke that up, but now Mainland is able to reset. Bertonis working against Lemons. Bad pass, stolen away by Montague. She is fouled by Stokes.
I don't think Stokes tried to foul there, Brian, but not a bad play, right? I mean, it sort of slows down the break. So I think, you know, if you're Mainland, you'll take it, obviously, but, you know, you don't want to turn the ball over there, certainly coming out of a timeout.
Second foul on Stokes. First team foul of the second half for Mainland. Atlantic City may not have wanted that foul called, Mike. You know, they were breaking the other way. It ends up being, as you said, kind of a strategic foul there by Mainland to prevent a fast break opportunity for the Vikings. Here's Lemons with the basketball. Goes to Roach. Roach lobs to Montague. Great pass. What a look by Montague. And Jackson lays it in on the right side of the rim.
All in one motion, too. Montague knew exactly where she wanted to go with that basketball, even before she caught it. Caught it and just kicked it down low.
Now, Montague's been doubled enough in her high school career. She certainly knows what to do with the basketball when that happens. Here's Stokes with it, goes to Sheeran. Sheeran is fouled as Jackson got a little too handsy there on defense. And again, I mentioned that in the first half with, you know, defender. As soon as you put two hands on a player, especially when they have the basketball, it's going to be an automatic foul. Aubrey Lucky checking into the game for Atlantic City for the first time.
And now 3 on Jackson. You know, you get the sense that Jason Lance was talking about defensive pressure at halftime. Got to be smart, though.
Bertonis hands off to Stokes. Stokes tried to shovel it across, and it's stolen away by Atlantic City. And here is Lemons. Little jumper is in and out by Jackson. Parker got the rebound, but stepped on the end line, and Mainland will have it.
Yeah, obviously not a good view that we had from here, but it seemed like the right call, Brian, because she came from an out-of-bounds position. She sort of circled around the players down low, so it would have been tough for her to land in bounds there.
Mainland the ball, leading by 6. Bertonis goes backdoor to Stokes. Layup is good. Stokes ran hard to the high post and then cut back door. And Bertonis found her. And Stokes has 8 to go along with her 10 rebounds. Lemons goes to the left. Roach. Lemons again. High post pass to Montague. Dips in. A lot of contact there, but the rebound's brought down by Bella Mazer. Montague was fortunate not to get called for an offensive foul. Pass to Sheeran too high and out of bounds. Mainland by 8. Atlantic City the ball. 5:19 to go in the third quarter.
A lot of contact, as you said, Brian. I mean, I like to play on there. You know, I know Bertonis is going to need some ice one way or another after this game is over. She's really sacrificing her body out there, but, you know, taking the pounding in the post. And again, I think the onus on AC right now is to get Montague going. We saw the quick pass in there and the dish from her, and they obviously want to get her scoring some points as well.
Bridget Roach dribbles away from a double team, goes to Sasha Lemons in the corner. Sheeran shuts her off on a baseline drive attempt. Now it's Montague. Montague dipping in, shut off. She's doubled on the wing. Passes in the post, and the ball stolen away by Ava Mazer. And I think Parker may have dribbled that ball off her own foot, and then Mazer picked up the loose ball. Here is Bertonis, goes to Stokes, top of the key. Right side to Ava Mazer. In the post to Bella Mazer. Turns, shoots, no good. Rebound, Stokes. Layup is good.
Just right place, right time again, and we've said it all day long, Brian. Stokes is having a tremendous game for Mainland.
Yeah, she's a double-double right now. 10 points and 11 rebounds. And it's Mainland by 10, 27-17, as they've gone on a 6-2 spurt to start this second half. Lemons goes over to Lucky. Lucky for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound brought down by Bella Mazer. Bella Mazer will push it up the right sideline. Now they have a little 2-on-1. Got it to Stokes. Dips in. Off the glass and good.
And it seems like such a simple play, but I don't know if that's a play Stokes makes earlier in the year, just taking that extra second, pivoting, and giving yourself an easy layup.
Just composed. It was a composed move by Sydney Stokes, who is having a wonderful game to this point. Mainland has its largest lead at 12, 29-17. 3:40 to go third quarter, and Atlantic City calls a timeout, and it is certainly a critical time in this game right now, Mike, for the Vikings.
And I'll tell you what, Brian, you know, Ava Mazer, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is Mainland's leading scorer. I know that it's pretty close between Bella and Bertonis, but Ava Mazer is scoreless here today.
Yes.
So if you tell Jason Lance that you're going to keep the other team's leading scorer shut down at the 3:40 mark of the third quarter, he'd say, great, I'll take it. But Mainland has found other ways to score the basketball. You know, Sheeran with 5 big points in the first half, but we've just mentioned it. You know, Stokes has been tremendous, and Bertonis, you know, you talk about this quote-unquote floor game in high school basketball, right? What does that mean? It just means the leader out there. She's making the right plays on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, she came into the game averaging 9. She has 12 in this game so far, to go along with what we know is at least 11 rebounds, and we'll have the full official stats after the game. She had 9 rebounds at halftime, but Sydney Stokes so far on a big stage is having a terrific basketball game right now for Mainland, and the Mustangs lead it by 12 at 29-17. So here's Atlantic City with the basketball. It's Bridget Roach against the man-to-man defense. And there's a foul on Ava Mazer.
Yeah, I think Ava's obviously frustrated, you know, used to scoring points and you're scoreless to this point, but I think you have to kind of take a step back. Easier said than done. when you're a high school basketball player. But say, my team's up 12. I don't need to force it here. Just play smart.
Lemons turns the corner. Off the glass, no good. Stokes, another rebound for Mainland. Bella Mazer will bring it up across the division line. Goes down low to Ava Mazer, across to Sydney Stokes, no good but a foul. And Stokes will go to the line for 2 shots. Stokes has all 8 of Mainland's points here in the second half. And the Mustangs are ahead by 14 at 31-17.
Yeah, and we heard Betson yelling, settle, right? Like they don't want to go end to end right now. They don't need to go end to end as Stokes hits the first free throw.
She's 1 for 3 from the line. Sorry, Mike.
No problem. And just take that extra second, right? You don't want to play stall ball, but just settle things down. You don't need to go 100 miles an hour right now if you're Mainland.
Rebound of the second missed free throw by Mainland, and Ava Mazer gets her first basket. The score now is 32-17. They had it wrong earlier. It was 29-17 when Stokes went to the line. She made the first, and then the offensive rebound and basket by Ava Mazer now makes it 32-17. It's a 15-point lead for Mainland. And this ball is tipped out of bounds by Bertones. She looks like she may have turned her ankle again. She's been dealing with that, Mike. But she's going to stay in the game.
Bertones is this condensed season personified, I think, Brock.
Yes. Lexi Gormley back in for Atlantic City. Cherry Montague, that's an offensive foul. That's a good call there. Montague stuck her head and shoulder into the body of, I believe it was Stokes.
Yeah, she seems hobbled too, Brian. Again, she took that early injury, the awkward fall someone landed on her. Just not sure she's 100% right now, but trying to gut it out.
Bertones working against Sasha Lemons. Stokes way out high for Mainland. Goes to Ava Mazer. Backdoor pass to Bella Mazer in the post. Dips in, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Stokes. Got it to Bertones. Great ball fake, but she traveled.
That's the right call. I mean, she did everything right up until the last second. Betson not in love with the call.
Well, here's the thing, and what people don't understand, Bertones is in some pain. Is she going to try to gut it out? When a player jump stops, and a lot of times it gets let go, when a player jump stops, by rule, you legally do not have the use of a pivot foot. So when she actually jabbed toward the basket, that becomes a traveling violation. Here's a near steal by Ava Mazer. She does come up with it. Bella Mazer to the basket. No good. Followed up by Bertones. The layup is good. And another timeout being called here by Atlantic City, and Mainland is starting to pull away here. They have doubled up Atlantic City now, leading at 34-17, and they have outscored Atlantic City, Mike, 13-2 to start this second half.
It hasn't always been pretty today for Mainland, but the hustle has always been there. I mean, how many times have we talked about Mainland getting second, third opportunities? Right there, Mazer's on a run out. You might say, hey, all right, she's got this. She's either going to score or get fouled. Bertones doesn't take it for granted. She follows the play. It was a no call. Maybe could have been a foul call, but Bertones is there anyway, and you get the easy 2 with your Mainland. AC just isn't making those plays right now. Mainland is making all of them.
Bertones now is in double figures with 10 points for Mainland. And, of course, Sydney Stokes with 13. And she's approaching 15 rebounds in this game as well. So Atlantic City will have it out of this timeout, and they've got to get something going quickly here as they trail by 17 with the clock approaching 2 minutes to go in the third quarter of this Cape Atlantic League Girls Championship game, live from Egg Harbor Township here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Cherry Montague in the high post area. Foul line jumper, got it.
Good patience there by Montague. Could have maybe taken the elbow jumper, but wanted to get a little bit closer there. And again, is it too little too late? AC hopes not, but you got to get her going here.
Stokes with the basketball. Goes to Ava Mazer. Mainland running its version of the flex offense here. Here's Bella Mazer on the left. Goes to Bertones. And a lot of times, Mike, you can run this offense as a delay. And Mainland in no particular hurry, leading by 15. Ava Mazer with the basketball, goes to her sister Bella. Now it's Bertonis. And now Mainland being very deliberate here as we approach a minute to go in the period. Sheeran with the basketball. Goes over to Bella Mazer. Up top to Ava Mazer. Ava Mazer a drive. Tried to pass across and threw it away. Sherry Montague with it. Got it up to Eileen Roach. Rejected by Bertonis and out of bounds.
Just another part of her game, Brian. Able to track down that ball in the air. I think Montague, it's an unselfish play. You give that up, but, I think if I'm Atlantic City, I want Montague to maybe keep that ball, maybe try to get all the way to the cup there. She's obviously a more efficient scorer near the rim.
Jane Mead into the game for Mainland, replacing Ava Mazer. Sasha Lemons is back in, replacing Eileen Roach for Atlantic City. Montague trying to drive baseline. Created some space, probably got away with another offensive foul, but knocked down the jumper. And now it's a 13-point game as the Vikings have scored 4 straight. Here's Bertonis taking it left, and now we have a foul called against Sasha Lemons. That's a tough one there on Atlantic City, Mike.
Yeah, they had the momentum going, no doubt about it. The call was made right in front of Scott Betson, who obviously was advocating for his player there.
Bertonis goes to the basket, got it to Stokes. Stokes up and under, but she tried to pass across, and the pass was tipped away and stolen by Jackson of Atlantic City. Now here's Sasha Lemons. 13 seconds to go in the period, and Atlantic City can get the final one. Lemons trying to break down Sheeran, got into the paint, floater, no good. Rebound brought down by Stokes. Got it to Bertonis. Bertonis will heave it from half court. It wouldn't have counted had it gone anyway. So a pretty good finish to the period by Atlantic City, but Mainland will take a 13-point lead into the fourth, 34-21, as the Mustangs, a 13-2 run to start the third quarter, but Atlantic City finishes by scoring the final 4, Mike.
No doubt. The Vikings did what they had to do to give themselves a chance in this game, right? You're down 17, 18 points, whatever it was. I mean, in a low-scoring game, it's pretty much game over. But, you get a little bit of momentum toward the end of the quarter, just like they did at halftime. Mainland, make no mistake about it, still very much in control of this game, but still not over. Vikings have a chance down 13.
And again, the story of this game, Sydney Stokes for Mainland. And right now, Mike, 13 points, 14 rebounds, and also has 2 blocks and a steal. And she's played all 24 minutes to this point.
Yeah, they give out an MVP award of this game, if I'm not mistaken. At least they have traditionally. I think, she would have to be the front runner right now through 3 quarters. I mean, take nothing away from Bertonis, but, this game is not where it is right now without the 2 of those players, but Stokes maybe a little bit more efficiently, certainly controlling the boards for Mainland.
So the Mustangs 8 minutes away from their second straight Cape Atlantic League championship. They lead at 34-21. Atlantic City will have the ball to start the fourth quarter, And that's why that last possession by Atlantic City was critical. Had they scored on that possession and cut the lead to 11, and then they would have had the ball here to start the fourth with a chance to take it to double digits or single digits, but they failed to score on that possession. Here's Gormley in the post. No good but a foul. Good find by Zashira Jackson. And Lexi Gormley will go to the line for 2 shots. This will be her first trip to the line. This will only be the fourth and fifth free throw attempts for Atlantic City in this game.
Third foul, too, Brian, on Bella Mazer, obviously. You're in the fourth quarter now, so you're not going to put her on the bench. But something to keep an eye on there. Difference between 3 and 4 is pretty big early in this fourth quarter.
Sure
so if you're
is.
Bella, you got to be careful.
Gormley missed the first. Second one is good. She has 5 in the game. Atlantic City showing full court pressure here. Ava Mazer goes center of the floor to Bertonis. Bertonis triple teamed, dribbles through it, goes across to Stokes, and now she'll settle things down by going back to Bella Mazer. Mainland by 12, 7:35 to go in the basketball game. Stokes goes to Bertonis. Bertonis holds, puts the ball on the floor to break a 5-second count. Turns the corner, the ball tipped away by Jackson, but regains possession. Now it's Ava Mazer. Ava Mazer trying to back in, goes to Sheeran. This is what Mainland really should do. Put the ball in Sheeran's hands and make Cherry Montague come away from the basket. That's exactly what happens, and they get it into Stokes, and she is fouled by Gormley. Stokes beat Gormley to the right block, took the pass, and got fouled.
That's a near-perfect possession for Mainland. You run a ton of clock. I mean, perfect is obviously getting the field goal there, but the next best thing is running clock, getting to the free throw line, and a chance for points there.
First one by Stokes is good. And again, Mainland has not been very good at the line today. They're just 6 for 15 and make it 7 for 16 as Stokes knocks down both. Mainland by 14, 7 minutes to go in the basketball game. Sasha Lemons goes right side to Zashira Jackson. Tried to shovel it to Gormley in the post. It was tipped. Jackson was able to regain it. And now out of bounds, I believe, is Jackson. And the ball will go over to Mainland. Bertonis, the basketball for Mainland. Right side, Bella Mazer. Shoveled it to Stokes, but she's called for a traveling violation.
Yeah, Stokes was trying to clear Montague out there and give a path to Mazer. You know, I think Mazer got caught between maybe trying to score and trying to stall there, and at the last second tried to dish it off. But either way, you know, Atlantic City with a chance again. They have to get going right now if they're going to do it, Brian. 14 points in a low-scoring game. They need to start scoring and getting stops.
Lemons travels with the basketball. Kind of an unforced turnover here.
And really, it's been, you know, we saw Meade come into the game just maybe briefly there, but really it's been this 5 for Mainland. So, you know, you bring up tired legs. This is a group that certainly doesn't look tired right now, but something to keep an eye on. It's 5 players seemingly playing the entire game to this point for the Mustangs.
Eileen and Bridget Roach both back in for Atlantic City. Ava Mazer goes to the basket, stripped by Cherry Montague. It goes out of bounds, and Mainland will have it. You know, sometimes the right decision there for Ava Mazer might have been to just jump stop in the top of the lane and take that little jumper if you're going to try to score. They get it to Stokes, miss the layup. Montague the rebound for Atlantic City, and now she's called for traveling.
Been that kind of day for the Vikings, right? I mean, but, you know, to your point, Brian, it's still, even with this deficit, I mean, when Montague's in the post, it's basically a no-fly zone for the Mustangs. I can't really remember any buckets they've gotten while she's in there, but just unfortunate for Montague there that just couldn't grab that ball on the rebound cleanly.
Inbound pass goes all the way into the backcourt. Sheeran has it. I think Sheeran at first thought that was going to be a backcourt violation, but that is a legal play. And here's Bertonis for Mainland. Bounces over to Stokes. Stokes holding against Montague, puts the ball on the floor, goes right. Got it to Bella Mazer. Driving right. Goes to Stokes. Now it's Bertonis. Mainland holding a 14-point lead in the ball. 5:40 to go. Bertonis broke that 5-second count by backing away. Now kicks to Stokes. And it's Bertonis again. Sheeran on the left. In the post, Bella Mazer shovels off to Sydney Stokes, and she's wide open and finishes.
Stokes' big game continues, Brian. You know,
she has 13 in the second half, 17 for the game, Mike. Montague, a jump hook along the baseline, no good. And now we have a tie-up for a loose ball. And I think that,
you know, just going back to Stokes for a moment, I think this is a situation where, look, you know, you game plan for Mainland's best players, right? And all year, their best players have been the Mazer girls and Bertonis. And then Stokes steps up in a big spot. They're not paying a ton of attention to her, and all of a sudden she's killing you.
Well, Atlantic City was actually granted a timeout, Mike. I guess the officials deemed that Lemons had complete possession of that ball when Jason Lance screamed for a timeout, so it was not a jump ball. And Atlantic City's going to have possession after this timeout. And they trail by 16, though, with 5:06 to go in the game. So Mainland at this point, you know, you're talking about a game without a shot clock. It just becomes a matter of, for Mainland, don't turn the ball over and make your free throws, and they're going to get out of here with this CAL championship.
I do like what Mainland has been doing with this big lead. I mean, it's not an all-out stall. It's sort of whatever you want to call it, you know, four corners, you know, make them come out and play you. If you're able to get a layup, take it. Anything other than a layup, you don't want to take. But it's not an outright stall. And we've seen, you and I have covered enough basketball to know, even with a big lead, just straight up holding the ball sometimes comes back to backfire. You still want to attack when it's there.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I don't remember the last time Mainland attempted anything but a layup. And it's a smart strategy with this double-digit lead that has now ballooned to 16 as Atlantic City will inbound it. Bridget Roach to trigger it. Lobs to Montague, dips in, and her jump hook is good. Montague with 8. She has 6 in the second half. Bertonis doubled, goes back to Sheeran. Sheeran gets it to Ava Mazer. Ava Mazer dribbles around a double team. She'll go into the post. Goes to Stokes. Good ball fake. Jump hook short, though. Rebound brought down by Mainland. Kicked out, and the Mustangs will reset. Bertonis the basketball. Goes to Stokes. Bella Mazer now. Bella Mazer goes down the lane, stripped, and she was fouled. And Mainland will inbound underneath the basket. 6-team foul against the Vikings. Ava Mazer almost threw it away, but Sheeran prevents it from going out of bounds. Sheeran the ball on the left wing, excuse me. And now it's Bella Mazer. As Mike said, Mainland being very deliberate, spreading the floor and looking for nothing but layups. Bertonis drives, and she's fouled by Lemons. And let's see if they give her 2 shots on this. I'm not sure. And they are going to make it a 2-shot foul, Mike, and Casey Bertonis will go to the line.
Chance for Bertonis to catch her breath a little bit, too.
She's only 4 for 10 from the line. That one's in and out. She's had quite a few of the misses do just that. Certainly isn't missing badly. It's just one of those unlucky days at the free throw stripe for Casey Bertonis. Pretty much all of her misses have been right around that in and out, right around the rim. She makes the second. She has 11 in the game, and it's Atlantic City trailing now to Mainland by 15. Zashira Jackson in the post, rejected by Stokes, and the rebound brought down by Sheeran. 3:45 to go. Mainland by 15. To the basket. Got it, and a foul. What a move and what a finish by Ava Mazer.
That's one of those, if you're Mainland, no, yes, right? You want to eat some clock, but Mazer certainly found a lane there, and credit to her. I mean, you know, look, it seems like Mainland is on its way to a Cape Atlantic League championship. I know it hasn't been the most productive game for the Mazer girls, but you know, they're contributing, no doubt about it. And even just their presence out there has been opening up some other things. I mean, they've been guarded closely on the three-point line. I don't believe they have a 3 today, but that's sort of opened up some other areas of the floor for Mainland.
Free throw's no good by Mazer. Rebound comes down to Atlantic City's Tyson Parker. Zashira Jackson fouled out on that last foul, Mike, so she is finished for the day for Atlantic City. And there's a pass stolen away by Bella Mazer. Lobs it ahead and just threw it too far. She had 2 players ahead of the pack, Bertonis and Ava Mazer, and she threw it too far for both of them. And if you threw it too far for both of them, you threw it way too far because those 2 kids can run.
No doubt about it.
Mainland with the big lead here, and the long 3 by Lemons is no good. Ava Mazer the rebound, and clock is approaching 3 minutes to go. And Mainland certainly in pole position here. Good steal by Sasha Lemons, and she is fouled by Bertonis. That's Bertonis' second, team's fourth. And here comes Bridget Roach. Got it to Gormley. Gormley hands off to Cherry Montague. Wow, it's a wicked screen. That's an offensive foul. That's a good call by Frank Burbridge. Lexi Gormley set the screen, Mike, and then raised her forearm under the chin of the Mainland player. Atlantic City fans don't like it, but that is a terrific call by Frank Burbridge there. That had to get called.
And it was the second part of what you just said. It was a great screen at first. She was in position. It was going to set up a shot. No reason to raise your arms there. And, you know, the screen was going to be effective. You don't need to put that extra oomph into it. And you're right. It was absolutely the right call.
And that's Gormley's fifth foul. So she's also disqualified from the game. And Cecilia Murata checks in for her for the Vikings. Sheeran with the basketball, got it to Stokes, but Mainland calls a timeout as it looked like they were having some trouble getting it in. So the Mustangs of Mainland take a 30-second timeout. With 2:45 to go, they lead by 17.
Just been in control from start to finish today, Brian. And, you know, you're at the point right now where I don't even think the Vikings are going to attempt to shorten the game too much. I mean, certainly they're not going to quit, but this game has been decided for a couple of minutes now. You know, it's been a tremendous effort from Mainland. It's been, you know, working the game plan to perfection, right? I can't recall Mainland forcing too many things today. I mean, they've missed some shots, but really they've taken what Atlantic City has given them. They've gotten other players involved. The big story is obviously Stokes, but it can't be understated how tough Bertonis has been out there, far from 100%, dealing with sickness earlier in the week, an ankle injury. Again, I'm looking at her eye. It looks like she got popped in the eye at some point, but she's toughing it out on the defensive end. It's been a tough go at the free throw line, but that really hasn't mattered today.
So Mainland 2 inbound. Ava Mazer, as they beat the pressure pretty easily. Ava Mazer is fouled by Cherry Montague. That will put Mainland in the double bonus, and Ava Mazer will go to the line for 2 shots. And as Mike had mentioned, you know, Ava Mazer a little quiet offensively. She averages a little over 12. She only has 4 to this point. But it just goes to show the depth and balance of this Mainland team in the scoring department, that they have now an 18-point lead, and Ava Mazer, the leading scorer, only has 5 points. Second one by Mazer is also good. And it's a 19-point lead for Mainland. And they are working toward their second consecutive Cape Atlantic League championship. And their third in 5 years. There's a foul on Bertonis. And Atlantic City will inbound on the sideline. Boys game coming up at 2 o'clock. It'll be St. Augustine Prep against Egg Harbor Township in the Boys Cape Atlantic League Championship game. And we'll have that, of course, for you on this same channel here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Cherry Montague with it for the Vikings. Gets a screen, shoots a 3. This is short. The rebound comes down to Ava Mazer. Ball knocked out of her hands. And picking up the loose ball is Tyson Parker, and she is fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. So give Atlantic City credit, Mike. They're still going after this thing, even though they're going to need basically a miracle at this point, down 19 with 2:08 to go.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't been Atlantic City's day. You know, I think this is obviously a team that still has a lot to play for this year. I mean, this is just the end of the Cape Atlantic League tournament, and this is a team that expects to do some damage in the South Jersey Group 4 bracket, as Mainland expects to do the same in South Jersey Group 3. But, you know, you almost got the sense right away it wasn't going to be Atlantic City's day, and because you have to credit Mainland. They came in just with that good game plan to get some other kids going early, and it's just kind of snowballed from there for the Vikings today.
You mentioned the state tournament in South Jersey Group 4. Atlantic City's the 5 seed. They'll host number 12 Kingsway on Tuesday. Mainland's the top seed in Group 3. They'll play Monday against Pemberton.
Yeah,
Parker makes both free throws.
I was going to say one thing about Mainland too. Shawnee is Group 3 this year, so and that is one of Mainland's losses this year. So something to keep an eye on as we progress into, later this week and beyond here. Certainly that is a potential.
It could be a Mainland Ocean City
No doubt,
game
no
as
doubt.
well, which is also big for this area. Bertonis was fouled.
Atlantic League Championship. You've done everything else right today. Just for whatever reason, haven't been able to get the free throws to drop.
Second one is good. Eileen Roach will return, replacing Cecilia Murata for Atlantic City. Mainland by 18, 44-26, as we move inside 2 minutes to go in the game. Sasha Lemons at the top of the key, driving right, hands off. Bridget Roach for 3. It goes in and out. Stokes, another rebound. And she is by far the leading rebounder in this game. She had 14 through 3 quarters. Bella Mazer, and she's fouled by Roach. And Bella Mazer will go to the line. This will be her first trip there. She has 4 points in the game.
What's interesting too, Brian, today, I think both teams maybe have one three-pointer on the day. It's just been, Mainland's a team that likes to shoot the three. Atlantic City, a little less so, but this game has been played and won inside the three-point arc for Mainland.
Bella Mazer missed the first. Yeah, and if there's anything that negative that Mainland will take out of this, it's going to be their performance at the free throw line. Second one by Bella Mazer is good. She'll come out as she's replaced by Jane Mead, and she gets a nice round of applause from the Mainland faithful. 45-26. Mustangs in control. 1.5 to play here. Cape Atlantic League Girls Championship game at Egg Harbor Township High School. Eileen Roach goes to her sister Bridget. Back to Eileen. Thought about a 3, doesn't pull the trigger. Bridget Roach to Sasha Lemons. Lemons, a tough 3. That's an air ball, and the rebound's knocked out of bounds by Atlantic City.
And you're seeing some bench players get into the game here for the Vikings. And now we'll have wholesale changes for the Mustangs as well. As a well-deserved round of applause for the Mainland starting unit.
Yeah, so a lot of subs coming in. The starters all the starters now for Atlantic City for Mainland will be out. You can see the smiles on their faces. This was a terrific effort by Mainland. We'll get you some of the names of the Mainland players that came in. Emily Paytas, Savannah Jones, who has the basketball, Maddie Mead, Natalie Higbee.
So here's the thing too. I mean, you like to see these kids getting after it. They've sat on the bench all day, but if you're a reserve, again, certainly for Atlantic City, just play it out here. There's really no reason to put Mainland on the line. And
Jones will go to the line for 2 shots. The 5th player came in for Mainland, Alexa Levy. All these players on the floor for Mainland are freshmen. Some subs in for Atlantic City as well. And
it's like Bryn Swift is on the floor, Brian, is checking my stat sheet here. Claire Kelly on the floor for Atlantic City.
Yes. And ball's going to go off of Atlantic City and out of bounds. They're going to give it back to Mainland. So the Mustangs will win their 2nd straight Cape Atlantic League championship. Here's Savannah Jones. She'll walk it out. And now we have a steal. Coming up with it was Claire Kelly.
And it really caps off what's been an impressive stretch for Mainland, Brian, and certainly with next year still to go for the nucleus of this team. But, you go back, this will be their 3rd overall, back-to-back champions, and the 3rd coming not too long ago either. So, it's been an impressive stretch for this Mainland basketball program. Obviously a South Jersey Group 3 championship a year ago. And before falling in the state final against a very good Sparta team in a game that wasn't really that close, but this is a Mainland team that a Mainland team that not only has aspirations for this, which they've clinched here today, but aspirations for another South Jersey title and possibly a run in the state tournament. And it's just been a tremendous run for the nucleus of this team.
DeJay Durham was the one who came up with that loose ball for Atlantic City. And the Mustangs called timeout. This was a comprehensive performance by Mainland. And, they're leading this game by 19 on a day that, they have been as a team well less than 50% from the free throw line.
Just speaks even more to the dominance of what that score would have looked like.
Yes.
Had they been on from the stripe.
Lucky with it for Atlantic City. Tried to shovel it off to Kelly. She couldn't save it inbounds, and the loose ball's picked up by Mainland's Higbee. Jones goes to Levy, and now Jones is fouled.
And also, Brian, I don't want to speak for you or anyone else. At least for me, I didn't expect this game to go like this.
No.
I think the Mustangs had to be favored.
Yes.
But this, by all accounts, was expected to be a tight ball game. Two teams that haven't lost almost in the calendar year, that really just were playing at a high level. And, again, you credit Mainland. The Mustangs took AC out of things early and just sort of stepped on the pedal from there, the gas pedal.
Levy made one of two. Mainland comes up with the rebound as Higbee got the loose ball, and now Mainland ends up dribbling it out of bounds inadvertently, so Atlantic City will have it. 46-26, 18 seconds to go. And here comes Claire Kelly. Driving. Excuse me, that was DeJay Durham. Murata shoots a jumper that's no good. Rebound brought down by Paytas, and that'll do it. 46-26. Mainland is your Cape Atlantic League champion. Terrific performance here at Egg Harbor Township High School as they dominated this game almost from start to finish. And we're going to try to get Sydney Stokes to come on for an interview here momentarily after they shake hands. And she certainly was one of the main stories for Mainland, Mike. And, on a day when Ava and Bella Mazer were both held well under their averages, Sydney Stokes really came to the fore and was the difference in this basketball game.
You talk about an X factor. That's cliche, right? But that's the definition of an X factor, a factor that we weren't necessarily talking about, a player off of the top, but a player who's capable and who's gotten better as the season has gone along here, and just a big-time performance in a big-time spotlight. And as a team, too, Brian, for Mainland to be able to go back-to-back here, it's difficult to win this Cape Atlantic League once, and for Mainland to be able to do it 2 years in a row now, they didn't have a ton of turnover from year to year. A lot of certainly the guards back, but Stokes is a player that didn't see a ton of time a year ago, playing behind a senior, playing behind an upperclassman. So, Stokes is one of the players that had to step into a new role this season. And as we talked about early, she's gotten better seemingly as the season has gone on, and this has to be her best performance of the year.
Yeah, Stokes finished with 17 points, 15 rebounds, 3 block shots, and a steal. And she shot 7 for 12 from the field. So a career game right there for Sydney Stokes. And 6 of her rebounds, Mike, were on the offensive end. Mainland absolutely pounded Atlantic City on the glass, 46-17. They out-rebounded Atlantic City. And, you could say that is exactly where they won the game. And Mainland wins it in a game they win by 20, they only shot 13 for 29 from the foul line. So they are having the award ceremony here and they're actually naming all of the players from Atlantic City first, and then I guess they'll go over to Mainland. And once they're finished with this, we are going to try to get Sydney Stokes over here to talk about her team's victory. But Mainland, Mike, they go to 23-2. They've been one of the best teams in South Jersey all year, and to have a record of 23-2 coming out of the conference that they did. Ocean City's in there, Middle Township's in there, Wildwood Catholic's in there. They have proven not only through this tournament, but through the course of the season, that they are the Cape Atlantic League's best team.
You're absolutely right, Brian. It's, we talked about parity off the top, but the parity really hasn't included Mainland. They did, they beat Atlantic City early in the year. They did, lose a couple along the way, one to Shawnee, which was out of the Cape Atlantic League. But, for the most part, this has been a team that's taken on every challenge and come away with these wins. And, as a coach, again, a little bit cliche, but you want to be playing your best basketball at the right time of year. This is a Mainland team that, looks a little banged up with Bratonis, obviously, but she's toughing it out right now. But it's a team that's going to be a tough out in the playoffs. They always are. And I think, I don't know if you call them the favorite as the 1 seed because they lost to Shawnee, but I think that looks like a collision course between them and the Renegades for the South Jersey title.
So Mainland being introduced by the stadium announcer now. And
number 1, Ava Sheeran. Number 2, Sydney Stokes.
Mainland winning the Cape Atlantic League Championship for the 2nd straight year and for the 3rd time in 5 years.
It's interesting too, Brian. I mean, you go back not too long ago to the Kylie Watson days at Mainland. And even with Watson, who obviously is a tremendous player, is now really stepping in her own at Notre Dame. They just won 1 Cape Atlantic League championship during her 4 years there.
Right.
And that was, Ocean City was still sort of the top quote-unquote dog in the
Middle Township
Cape,
won that.
Yeah, no doubt. Middle Township
stretch.
too.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, the evolution of this program, that they don't necessarily maybe have that highest of profile stars, but they've gotten better building with the players that they have, and now back-to-back for the core of this team, and it's just been a tremendous back-to-back run here as Bratonis is getting a standing ovation, certainly from the Mainland faithful.
Yep. Bratonis was named the MVP.
I don't think you can argue with that. I mean, look, she's the captain, she's the leader, and I think we'll ask Stokes if we grab her, but I don't think she's going to mind.
No, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Casey Bratonis, who was named the MVP of the game. And, her, and part of that too, Mike, certainly her defensive effort on Quinera Montague, who was held to just 8 points and 7 rebounds for Atlantic City. Montague came into the game averaging 17 points and 12.5 rebounds. So, and Bratonis was the main one guarding her. And, that certainly is part of the reason why she was named MVP of this game. And at this point, does it really matter who's the MVP for Mainland as they win it going away 46-26 here at Egg Harbor Township High School. They are posing for photos now at half court, and we're going to try to get Sydney Stokes to come over with us momentarily. And of course, we're going to have the boys game coming up. It'll be St. Augustine Prep battling Egg Harbor Township. EHT will be playing this game, obviously, on their home floor, so that'll be interesting coming up with the boys. And this gym is really, really filled up. They seat about 2,000 here, and we're probably well over 1,000 in the gym here today. So we're going to bring Sydney Stokes over, and she'll. Okay, so Sydney, first of all, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
I know you don't know your totals yet, but you had 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 block shots. And, tell us what it's like to come up with that kind of a performance in such a big game.
That's amazing. I mean, not every team gets to make it to the Cal Finals, let alone win it 2 years in a row, so it's amazing.
To come here and play the way you did. You were up 6 at halftime. You didn't shoot the ball well from the foul lines. You probably were disappointed to only be up 6 at halftime. Then you came out in the third quarter. I think it was a 13-2 run. You had a big third quarter. What was the difference in that period?
So, every time we play AC, I feel like it's really high energy. So we really needed to settle in the second half, and that's what we did. We went on a run.
to be a Cape Atlantic League champion for the second year in a row, and you know the conference you played in was very tough. This is a very tough and probably underrated league. So to be the champion of it for the second straight year, and to beat some of the teams that you had to beat to get here, Our Lady of Mercy and Wildwood Catholic and Atlantic City, you got to feel a big sense of accomplishment as a team.
It feels great.
And you know these are big accomplishments. Winning the Cape Atlantic League. You got a state tournament coming up starting on Monday, so you don't have much time to celebrate this. You know, what are you looking to do in that tournament?
I feel like if we play like how we did today, I think we'll go far in that.
Okay. All right. Well, Sydney, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the game you had, and congratulations on your team's victory here in the CAL
so
title
much.
game. You got it. Sydney Stokes joining us here at tableside, and we appreciate her coming on with us. And that'll wrap it up, I guess, here for the girls' game. We'll step aside a little bit, and we'll come back with the boys' game. It's EHT and St. Augustine Prep coming up. It's supposed to be a 2 o'clock start. I think they're going to start probably right around that time. But Mike, it was just your final thoughts. Let's go to Scott Betson real quick. Yeah, so he's coming on, and Scott, first things first. Congratulations on the victory. I asked the same thing to Sydney. You know, to be the champion of this league, and this is a really difficult league. It's a real difficult tournament now because you got to win some extra games just to get here. You know, what are your thoughts and the way your team performed today?
I'm just really happy for the kids. You know, I thought they played really hard. Thought there was a couple of moments that kind of hurt us in terms of making it closer, but that's a credit to Atlantic City. I think coming in the offseason, if you had to guess who the best team in the league was going to be, my money probably would have been on them. Obviously, Quinier is awesome, and then they've got some talented pieces around them, so they make it difficult for you to stay that kind of mentally dialed in. I thought the biggest keys for us, though, were, for the most part, we took care of the ball. I thought we rebounded really well, which is always the two big factors when you're playing a team as good as they are.
Well, speaking of rebounds, you got a career game out of Sydney Stokes today. 17 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. And, you know, if you came in here and said that the Mazer twins were going to be held to 11 points combined and you win the game by 20, I mean, you
honestly,
probably wouldn't have thought that would have happened.
I wouldn't have been that surprised because, you know, if you look at our scores all year, it's really difficult because on any given night, any one of those kids can go for the teens. You know, obviously, you know, I would prefer that everybody gets in the teens every night. But in terms of Sid, in my career, I don't know if I can think of many kids I'm more proud of in terms of the development over her time here. She's grown into a premier post player in South Jersey, not just on both ends of the floor. She scores. She really, really rebounds, obviously. She's a presence inside in terms of block shots. When people get by some of our perimeter defense, she alters shots even if she doesn't block them. And she's a terrific kid. I'm so happy for her. What a great game.
And then Casey was named MVP, 12 points. She struggled at the line a little bit today, but she was very instrumental in holding Quinier Montague to 8 points.
Yeah.
Her defensive effort can't be overlooked.
That's the thing. You know, when you do it in the aggregate, what Casey does on both ends of the floor for us in terms of handling the ball, scoring, hitting free throws. Normally, you know, she struggled a little bit today, but I think that's a little bit of, you know, the atmosphere in the gym. And then what she can do on the defensive end, I've talked about it all year. You can look, again, back at our box scores, and she routinely holds premier scorers down well below their average, and she just did the same thing again today.
All right, Scott, we're going to let you go. Get in there and celebrate
All
with
right,
your
thank
team.
you, guys. I appreciate the coverage.
All right, Scott Betson, Mainland's coach. They win it 46-26. And Mike Frankel, your final thoughts on this girls' game?
Yeah, well deserved by Mainland, Brian. Again, we talked about it. We thought it was going to be a closer game, but, you know, that's a product of Mainland's game plan, right? The Mazer twins didn't have huge games. They didn't have to, though. Breton is so tough both ends of the floor, as you guys have just talked about. And Stokes with really the best game of her high school career to this point. And this is a team that's going to be a tough out in South Jersey Group 3.
All right, so we appreciate Mike Frankel for joining us. I'll be back with Nick Costco for coverage of the boys' game between St. Augustine and EHT. And, of course, the fine work by Matt Ulmer and Bill Shawcross on the behind-the-scenes production. And, of course, we appreciate Ulmer's Appliance and the Cape Atlantic League for sponsoring this broadcast. We'll be back in about 12 or 15 minutes or so with the boys' game between St. Augustine and Egg Harbor Township. For now, this is Cape Atlantic League Live. Mainland wins the girls' CAL title. They beat Atlantic City 46-26.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Egg Harbor Township High School for this edition of Cape Atlantic League basketball. It's the Cape Atlantic League championship between the host Egg Harbor Township Eagles and the number 1 seeded St. Augustine Prep Hermits. Welcome in everybody to the broadcast booth. Nick Costco alongside Brian Kniff, Matt Omer, and Bill Shawcross are producing and filming today's broadcast. Eagles coming in at 22-5 and had the luxury of getting the championship game on their home floor, looking for their first Cape Atlantic League title in school history, while the number 1 seeded St. Augustine Prep Hermits are 23-4 on the year, looking for their first title since 2017. Brian, this is probably the matchup a lot of people wanted to see. The Eagles were upset as the number 1 seed in the tournament last year, but now they get their chance, and it just so happens to be right on their home court.
Yeah, and it's rare to see that. We saw that years ago with Atlantic City, often playing on their home court, but we had a long time there where the games were at Stockton, so no one ever could play on their home court. But now it's here at Egg Harbor Township High School. The Eagles have made it, as you said, into this championship game, and it's interesting because these teams actually played on a neutral site at the Ocean City PBA tip-off weekend that St. Augustine Prep won. And then EHT won by 8 in January at St. Augustine. So it's almost fitting that the third meeting does come on this floor here. And you mentioned St. Augustine, their last championship, 2017. They are no strangers to this game. They've won it 10 times, the Cape Atlantic League Championship. They've actually been in the title game 6 of the last 7 years it's been held. Of course, there was no tournament in 2021 due to COVID. But they lost in overtime to Mainland last year. And then they lost to Wildwood Catholic 2 years in a row in 2020 and 2019. And then they won 3 straight from 2015 through 2017. So St. Augustine and their coaching staff, Paul Rodeo, of course, very used to being in this game.
No doubt. We are going to step aside real quick as we prepare for the national anthem. Egg Harbor Township, St. Augustine Prep coming up next on Cape Atlantic League Live for the title.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Egg Harbor Township High School for today's Cape Atlantic League Championship game between the Eagles of Egg Harbor Township and the St. Augustine Hermits. This contest was being conducted according to the rules of New Jersey State International Classic Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators cannot promote good sportsmanship while observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated, can subject the violator to ejection, and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem by Egg Harbor Township freshman Camilla Perez.
Can you see
Well, if that doesn't get you fired up, then I don't know what will. EHT St. Augustine Prep coming up here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Pleased you're with us here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon inside Egg Harbor Township High School. The starting lineups are being announced. Of course, it's interesting, Brian, because, of course, EHT is the host school, but they're the lower seed. They're wearing the black uniforms, and their starting lineup is coming out first.
Yeah, and it's all seniors for Cameron Bell's Eagles. And, of course, they're led by DJ Gurman, one of the best players in South Jersey, 17.5 a game, 3.5 assists. But just the way he can control the game with his pace of play really makes him dangerous. He's joined in the backcourt by Janelli Reyes, Christian Rando, and Jamil Wilkins. Each play swing positions, and Keon Elliott is really the lone forward for Egg Harbor Township. As, again, as I mentioned, an all-senior starting lineup for the Eagles. And they're wearing their away blacks, as you mentioned, trimmed in gray and white.
I mean, I don't think you can personify EHC without mentioning the black and silver here, so I think it's actually kind of fitting they're going to wear the black here on the home floor. But they have their own challenges with a loaded St. Augustine Prep lineup, one of the finer teams for head coach Paul Rodeo.
And they'll wear their home whites trimmed in gray and blue. And there is a change. Ethan Fox, who didn't play in the semifinal due to an injury, is not going to start. And it's questionable as if he'll even play in this game. He averages 10.4 points per game, but their starters, it'll be Ife Oki Byron, the big senior forward down low for St. Augustine Prep. And also sophomore Rory Friel will play a forward position. And then the guards, Matt Kauser, one of the top shooters around at 12.6 per game, also averages 5.6 rebounds. And then, of course, Samaj Bethea and Elijah Brown in the backcourt, or Bethea in the backcourt, Brown a 6'4" forward. Brown averages 17.5 and 4.5 rebounds for Paul Rodeo's St. Augustine Prep Hermits. We have 3 officials on the game, Nick. It's Jared Barnes, Frank Bazil, and Cedric Smith.
This is the marquee event of the afternoon. The Mainland girls just won their second straight Cape Atlantic League title earlier if you were tuned in to Cape Atlantic League Live, but now we get the boys game here to conclude the conference schedule.
And Nick, this gym seats about 2,000, and we're pretty darn close to a sellout. I'd say we have probably every bit of 1,800 people in here. A great atmosphere for high school basketball as the whistle sounds and we're ready to go.
One of the best gyms in South Jersey. Keon Elliott against Ife Oki Byron for the opening tip, and it's won by the Hermits. Rory Friel will dish it over to Bethea, now quickly over to Brown. So the Hermits with the first possession. Let's see what they can muster up on offense first.
EHT comes out straight man-to-man.
This is Elijah Brown dishing it over to Matt Kauser. Underneath for Oki Byron, guarded by Christian Rando. Also a football star over here for EHT. Bethea will pull one up, and that one's in and out, and the rebound corralled there by J. Nelly Reyes. EHT up the floor for their first possession.
That could have been a backcourt violation there. That was close.
Good heads-up play there. That's Elliott for 3, and it is no good. Loose ball on the floor. EHT gets a second chance opportunity now.
Rando's made a couple really good plays. He had a good box out. That's a travel. He had a good box out down the defensive end, and then he came up with that flick there to give EHT another possession, but they end up turning it over on the traveling violation.
Wilkins called for the travel, so now the Prep will come back up the floor. Just about a minute gone in this first quarter, scoreless. There's Elijah Brown, ball on the left wing, dishing it over to Oki Byron, guarded by Rando. Now Kauser, right wing. Beg your pardon, Friel, pull up for 2, he drills it. St. Augustine Prep on top first, 2-0.
Oh, Rando's got to do a better job hedging off the screen. Oki Byron setting the screen, and Rando didn't hedge out. That left Friel wide open.
Jamil Wilkins tried to answer with a 3. That's off the mark, and the Prep comes back the other way. We're going to get a kick ball violation as Samaj Bethea was trying to pass it down underneath. 6:41 to play first quarter. Now Friel will inbound it for the Hermits. Bethea guarded by DJ Gurman.
What a matchup this is. 2 of the best in South Jersey right there.
Gonna be watching all afternoon. Here's the turnaround shot. No good for Brown. And a rebound here for EHT as Elliott dishes it over to Gurman. Gurman will back off for the moment. He's guarded by Bethea. Now Rando.
Preps in man-to-man here.
Wilkins underneath, can't get it to go, and a rebound ripped down by Elijah Brown. Up ahead, Bethea into the paint, pulls up, short, and a rebound for Okie Byron. Second chance opportunity. That pass goes out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover for the Prep.
Okie Byron actually did a good job of reaching over Rando without fouling, but then threw it away. And EHT will get possession. Some early nerves here, Nick, for both teams, not to be unexpected.
Yeah, not fluid basketball quite yet, but EHT trying to counter here with a J. Nelly Relis three, and he drills it. EHT on top. And quickly on the other end, out of bounds it goes, and it's still Prep ball. Good defensive effort here from the Eagles. Low-scoring affair through the first 2+ minutes. J. Nelly Reyes with the three-pointer to put the Eagles in front. Let's see if the Prep can answer. Bethea.
EHT did a good job of getting back defensively. The Prep really likes to run that secondary break out of a made shot. It's a good call.
Got a whistle on the floor as Kauser was looking for Okie Byron down low.
Yeah, Okie Byron was trying to go straight up to collect that pass, and Rando kind of backed into him. And that's a good call by the official, Cedric Smith, there.
First foul for Rando, first one for EHT. Bethea loses the handle, it's loose now. Gurman picks it up, come back the other way. DJ Gurman coast to coast. Yes! And the foul!
Oh, they're going to wave off the basket.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to say it happened up at the top of the lane.
Well, that's going to be a foul on Bethea. So don't count the basket. It did go in. It looked like they were going to count it. A bit of a delayed call. And now here's J. Nelly Reyes with the inbound. Dribbling to his left, backs off. Three-pointer on the way. He's got it! Reyes, 2 threes in a row for him, and EHC has a 4-point lead.
Reyes off to a good start. Shooting the basketball with a couple of threes here. He's got all 6 of EHT's points.
Kauser straight on, into the corner. Good move to the dish. Elijah Brown answers back.
Good ball reversal by the Prep there. Kauser with an excellent extra pass to Brown, who had the lane along the baseline.
This is Elliott now. He's guarded by Okie Byron. Nice matchup there as well. Gurman along the left wing. Into the corner now. Wilkins driving baseline, puts one up. That ball was blocked away. It's loose on the floor, out of bounds.
Well, that's a great play by Gurman. He came in, and it looked like Bethea easily was going to be able to collect that basketball, and Gurman came in and flicked it off of Bethea's leg and out of bounds, giving EHT another crack at possession here.
There's Wilkins now along the right wing into the corner for Elliott. He wants a three. Not enough as Kauser goes to the rebound, but it's Reyes corralling it. Second chance for EHT. Another three off the mark, and Okie Byron pulls down the board. Roof would have came off if that one went down.
Yeah, EHT playing on its home floor, but obviously the Prep has a big contingent of fans here as well.
That's Brown off the mark of the back iron, and a rebound there for Wilkins. Wilkins going strong to the dish, left hand, yes!
Boy, and Wilkins really got off his feet to make sure he can rise above Okie Byron and finish. And that's a terrific play there.
Boy, we've had a loud first quarter. EHT up top by 4. Kauser on the free throw line, back up to Brown underneath that pass, deflected out of bounds it goes, and was last touched. Looks like by EHT. Looks like the Prep is going to inbound, and Kauser will take a stroll over to the corner. And Brown inbounded now instead. Into the corner, Friel, 3-ball, got it! What an answer for the Prep, 8-7.
Excellent inbound play there by St. Augustine. They're always good at that. And they got a wide open look for 3, and Friel knocked it down.
Reyes backing off, over to Gurman, driving into the paint, right-handed floater, too strong, and a rebound for Friel. Bethea quickly, Kauser thought about it, guarded tightly by Reyes. Brown trying to draw some contact, pulls up, and his floater also no good. The rebound here for Keon Elliott. Elliott thought about pulling up, over to Wilkins, 3-ball, short, and the miss is corralled by Okie Byron. Rando trying to poke it away. He's got a steal. Now Wilkins for EHT.
Boy, Rando's really been active so far for EHT.
Definitely there.
That's a couple of steals he's picked up right after missed shots or turnovers of his own team and giving EHT extra possessions.
Definitely their defensive MVP right now in the early goings. This is Gurman back out to Wilkins. Trying to drive to his left side in the corner. Elliott, 3-ball on the way. He's got it! EHT has been deadly from beyond the arc, and they're up by 4.
That's their third 3.
And we're going to get a timeout from head coach Paul Rodeo and the Hermits. EHT has made it quite loud in here. 3 threes for the Eagles and a 4-point lead with 2:26 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, so this is the first timeout of the game. It's a 30-second timeout by St. Augustine. And as you mentioned, Nick, EHT off to a flying start from three-point land. They've made 3 threes so far in this first quarter, and 9 of their 11 coming from beyond the arc as they lead at 11-7 with 2:26 to go in the period.
If you're the prep right now, Brian, what do you do to combat that hot shooting from the Eagles?
Well, the thing that's so difficult about Egg Harbor Township, especially with Gurman and Wilkins, is that they can do a lot of damage off the dribble. And what they're doing is they're getting into the paint and they're able to kick out to find open shooters. So the prep is going to have to somehow stop that dribble penetration and to try to help their three-point defense.
There's Noah Plen, newly checked into the game for the prep, dishing it over to Brown. Underneath now for Kauser, guarded by Reyna, trying to back him down. He'll pull up for a 2, and he drills it. That's what Matt Kauser can do for the prep, the 6'5" junior forward. This is Wilkins now. Top of the key, back over for Reyes. Thought about a long 3. He'll pull up for now. Late first quarter, EHT up by 2. Reyes backing off again. We'll dish it over to Gurman as they try to get their offensive set going here. Into the corner, Elliott fakes the 3, back over to Rando. Now EHT's going to swing it around behind the arc. Elliott underneath now in the paint. Couple dribbles, drawing contact, pulls up, no good. Rebound for Plen. So Plen will take command of the offense right here. 1:15 to go in the first quarter. He'll dish it over, and Brown mishandled it, but was able to corral it.
That was a good defensive set by St. Augustine on that last EHT possession, Nick.
That's a 3-ball for Friel, short off the front iron, and now Gurman takes it ahead for the Eagles. Nice bounce pass underneath Wilkins. What a move to the hoop! Goodness gracious, Jameel Wilkins.
Well, Wilkins is left-handed, and when he gets on that left side, he can be lethal, and he really, really exploded to the rim there, and it was an easy finish once he got up to that basket.
Here's Friel for the prep, guarded by Reyes. Over to Kauser now, guarded by Rando. A little bit of a mishmash right here. Kauser trying to find someone to go with. They had it poked away, dished it underneath. Good feed to Bethea, and his floater is good. Good touch there by Samaj Bethea. Now it's back to a 2-point game. 20 seconds, could be the final possession here of the first quarter for EHT. Here's Gurman. Reyes now getting the signals from head coach Cameron Bell. 10 seconds. Gurman now, who takes the final shot of the quarter. Gurman to his right. Back over to Elliott. 3-ball to end the quarter. No good, and Kauser will have it. And that'll do it for the first quarter. A wild one and an exciting one as well. EHT on top, 13-11 after the first quarter. We'll take a break right here on Cape Atlantic League Live.
Don't forget the concession stand is open, located in the auxiliary tent. On the main entrance, concession stand is open. Fresh pizza, soft pretzels, get them all time.
Getting ready for the second quarter start here. 13-11, EHT on top of St. Augustine Prep. Nick Costco alongside Brian Kniff down on court side. An exciting one, Brian, after the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, both teams made 5 field goals, but EHT with the 3 threes to the Preps 1. That's why they have the 2-point lead. Neither team has taken a free throw yet. And the Preps got 3 turnovers to EHT's 1, and they're even on the rebounding end at 8. But EHT has 3 offensive rebounds. And not surprisingly, the stats are even. The scoreboard's pretty even. EHT, the 2-point lead as we start the second quarter.
Here's Gurman, dishing it over. Wilkins in the corner now. Back over to Elliott. Ray is thinking about a straight-on 3, but he'll drive instead. Back out, Wilkins. He wants a 3, short, and the rebound there for Rory Friel.
And again, it was the dribble penetration that set up the wide-open 3, but Wilkins just couldn't knock it down.
Kauser for the Prep.
You see, EHT is really out-pressuring the perimeter. And the Hermits have been able to get a couple of back doors out of all that pressure. EHT just trying to make it difficult.
That's Friel for 3. Oh, he got a lucky bounce. Down it goes. And the Prep has the lead. First time since they were up 2-0 in this game.
Friel has 8 points, 2 threes. Great pass.
Oh, and there's a block from Oki Byron. Wilkins had a clean look, and Ife Oki Brown giving the Prep a chance to extend the lead here. There's Brown. He converts, and the Hermits are up by 3.
Well, if you're EHT, it looks like Wilkins has a wide-open layup, and Oki Byron comes out of nowhere and erases it.
Big chase down block. Here's Elliott. Now Rando in the corner. Early going to this second quarter. Glad you're with us here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Of course, today's broadcast brought to you by Ulmer's Appliance Service. There's Rando, a 3-ball. Can't answer, and a rebound from Elijah Brown. So now the Prep trying to make their mark offensively here. Brown to the dish, puts one up, and he's got it. A lot of contact, no whistles from either side.
I think that Elliott actually tripped over his own teammate's leg, which is why there was no whistle.
Oh, and another block from Ife Oki Byron as he denies Reyes. Oki Byron, oh, that one's knocked away, and boy, we're getting a fast-paced, physical game right now. We're finally going to take a breath for a second and reset with an inbound pass from Matt Kauser.
The Prep's on a 7-0 spurt to start the second period.
Bethea, guarded by Gurman. Gurman a little bit more aggressive here. Now Kauser, he's guarded by Wilkins. 6 minutes to go in the half. This is the Prep's largest lead of the ball game. That tight contest so far. Brown, right hand, puts one up and no good, but we're gonna get a whistle.
This foul will go on Keon Elliott. And this is the first set of free throws for either team. And St. Augustine right now already on a 7-0 spurt to start the second quarter, and they'll try to extend it. Brown makes the first. They did the same thing to Middle Township in the third quarter, Nick, of the semifinal. Middle actually had a lead, and the Prep came out with a big third quarter run in that game, and they outscored Middle 26-9 to take control of the game. That was the semifinal earlier this week at Millville. They won it going away.
Elijah Brown goes 2 of 2 from the line. Noah Plen checking back in for St. Augustine. Jaden Reyes just checked in for EHT as well. 5:50 to go, first half. Eagles facing their largest deficit of the afternoon. Cape Atlantic League title on the line today. Number 1 seeded St. Augustine Prep, number 3 EHT, and we're gonna get a whistle.
Foul goes against the reaching Rory Friel.
That'll be his first, yep.
Yes.
Only 2 fouls, though, each side. So mostly a clean game so far in this first half. This is J. Nelly Reyes. Rolling the right wing for EHT. He's guarded by Plen. Doubled now. Good hop step into the paint, and that layup is no good. Had a nice move to the basket, but could not convert.
And Oki Byron really affected that. He didn't want to take that little jumper because of his presence. That's a great defensive play there.
Bethea loses that one out of bounds, really had nowhere to go, had to fight through a lot of traffic.
I think it was Reyes who reached in and knocked the ball off of Bethea's leg and out of bounds. So the Prep turns it over.
EHT maybe trying to move a little bit faster on this offensive possession. This is J. Nelly Reyes along the left wing. Wilkins now. DJ Gurman trying to get it going here, guarded by Plen. In the corner, J. Nelly Reyes for three, too strong. And that ball's loose, trying to get his own rebound. Out of bounds it goes. And it looks like it last touched the Hermits, so EHT's going to keep the ball here.
Elijah Brown's back in for St. Augustine, and Keon Elliott back in for Egg Harbor Township. And, you know, after I believe they had made 3 of their first 5 threes, Nick, EHT has gone cold from distance since.
They have yet to score in this second quarter as well. Reyes, a long-range 3, no good, and another rebound for Okie Byron.
That's not a good shot. You can get that shot at any time. Why take it that early in the possession?
Gonna get a travel here.
Yeah, Okie Byron, I think he was surprised to get that pass, and he really didn't know initially what to do, and he shuffled his feet.
Christian Rando checks out for the Eagles. Jaden Reyes back in. He's been in and out in this second quarter. Prep pressing a little bit. J. Nelly Reyes now for the Eagles. Mentioned before, Brian, they've been taking a lot of threes in this whole game, but they've gone cold from deep in this second quarter. Haven't really found their offense. Elliott trying to make a move to the dish, and he's going to get fouled.
It's a good move there. And this goes against
That's Okie Byron.
Byron, yes.
That's his first. Only the Prep's third team foul, though. But it will send Keon Elliott to the line for 2 as EHT is trying to stop this 9-0 run for the Hermits.
Yeah, EHT, 4:18 to go in the period, Nick, and EHT is yet to score.
And they finally get one there for the first free throw from Elliott. Kauser's back in for the Prep as Friedel takes a seat. Elliott, 1 of 2 from the line, and a rebound there from Elijah Brown. So he actually does get a point back, but they still trail by 6. Brown lost the handle, and
Oh, that's why he lost the handle. He was bumped by Gurman while he was trying to turn the corner. An easy foul call there, and St. Augustine will inbound right in front of the EHT bench.
first foul for Gurman, 3rd for the Eagles. Here's Bethea. Brown along the left wing, guarded by Elliott. Hermits swinging around now. Halfway through the second quarter, Elijah Brown with 3 Eagles in his face. And a second chance opportunity there for Elijah Brown, able to poke it back in, and the Prep up by 8.
Yeah, Brown with 8.
Wilkins over to J. Nelly Reyes. This is the largest lead for St. Augustine Prep this afternoon. Elliott thought about it. He'll hold up and they'll get it back over to Reyes. Good move to the hoop from Reyes. Left-handed layup is good. A much-needed bucket for the Eagles, cutting it back to 6. Plen underneath for Kauser, guarded by Wilkins. Oh, it's blocked away. Jameel Wilkins, good defensive play. It still loses. Kauser will get a 3rd chance here. Puts one up again. No good. Okie Byron the putback. And that's just tremendous offensive basketball from the Prep. Great effort.
Yeah, that's a couple of 50-50 balls there that St. Augustine won. And it finishes with an Okie Byron tip-in.
In the corner, that's a 3-ball for Jaden Reyes, no good, and Kauser a rebound. And again, the 3-point shooting has been EHC's detriment in this second quarter. Samaj Bethea to the basket, no good. Okie Byron cleaning things up once again, and the Prep is up by 10.
St. Augustine is really beating EHT down the floor these last few possessions, setting up some good chances to score. And EHT now will call a timeout as St. Augustine has outscored them 15-3 to start this second quarter.
Yeah, drastic difference in this second quarter compared to the first, where EHT was racing out to their lead with a couple 3 balls on offense, and they were able to play a little bit more sound defensively, Brian, but now it's Prep's turn to play sound defensively, and as I mentioned on that last possession, they've been taking advantage of a lot of second and third and even sometimes fourth chance opportunities.
Yeah, and that one there, talked about it a little bit ago. Kalser got a shot blocked, but then with a lot of hands flying in there trying to grab the basketball, Kalser won it, missed another shot, got another rebound, and then the third rebound by Okie Byron and got the basket. EHT, you want to win this basketball game, you got to win. You're probably going to have to win more than your share of 50-50 balls.
Jay Nelly Reyes is guarded by almost the entire defense there. Top of the key, swinging back over to Gurman. He wants a 3 ball.
Short.
No good. And Wilkins rips down the board, puts it up with the left hand. He can't get it to go, and Kalser gets a rebound. Boy, that's back-breaking for the Eagles.
No, that's why you got to use the backboard.
Friel, 3, no good. And picked up there, Okie Byron, wave off the basket. He traveled. 2:16 to go in the half.
You see what the Prep's doing. They beat EHT down the floor. They get the wide open 3 from Friel that misses, and Okie Byron is already down on the weak side block for that offensive rebound. It just didn't work out for the Prep, but EHT has to do a better job of stopping and defending this secondary break by St. Augustine Prep.
Keon Elliott underneath, good dish. Jay Nelly Reyes, a right-handed scoop. He's got it, and the foul. That is much needed for the Eagles. He'll go to the line for the and 1. And they're going to hit Okie Byron with the foul. That is his second for the Prep, 4th team foul.
So Jay Nelly Reyes, first player for EHT in double figures. Actually, the first player in the game in double figures. He has 10.
He's one
first trip to the line. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. He's been one of the best players on the floor. We'll try to complete the 3-point play here. Off the miss, and he tried to get his own rebound, but it's picked up by Elijah Brown, so they cannot get the 3-point play there. But now EHT's going to press here late in the quarter. That pass wild, and it's stolen away by Rando.
Yeah, look, Plen did a good job of saving it, but that's all he could do.
Gurman!
What a finish by Gurman.
He converts on the other end, and EHC's back within 6.
And they got to get him going. He's average. He's their leading scorer, 17.5 a game. That's his first bucket.
So he finally gets one to go through the cotton as Plen hits the deck. We're going to get a whistle on the floor, though. And we're going to get Christian Rando with the foul for EHT. That's his second, 4th team foul for the Eagles. Jaden Dixon is in for the Eagles now, and Rando will take another seat. 1:32 to play in the half. Eagles have climbed their way back into it a little bit. They trailed as much as 10. They're down by 6 right now, but the Prep has owned this second quarter. Friel on the baseline, lost it, and it's stolen away by Wilkins.
And Wilkins did a great job of stepping in front of Kalser. He was able to pick up that loose ball.
Keon Elliott to the hoop, and he couldn't get it. Gurman, the putback, he's got it. Able to tip it back in. EHT back within 4.
And maybe this is getting Gurman going here. That's his second straight field goal in 2 straight possessions. And now it's down to a 4-point Prep lead.
Oh, wide open is Friel underneath the basket. EHT lost track of him. Minute to go now.
He's in double figures with 10.
Wilkins along the right wing. Back over Jay Nelly Reyes in the corner for Dixon. He wants a 3. A little short on that one. Elijah Brown rips down the board. Brown up the floor now. Dishing over to Kalser. Safely put it off the glass, and the Prep, just like that, back up by 8.
That was basically a 3-on-2 drill the teams do almost every day at practice, and the Prep converted that easily.
Flawlessly there.
There was too many people for EHT reaching in the back court, trying to come up with a steal rather than running back defensively.
Reyes for 3, too strong, and we get a whistle on the floor. Looks like a foul coming for EHT.
Yeah, Jaden Dixon banged in the Kalser on the rebound. And it looks like the Prep is going to have an opportunity here to take the last shot. And they also have the possession hour in their favor, so they'll get the ball to start the second half, too.
A little 2-for-1 action maybe here for the Prep. 15 seconds. That's Friel in the corner. Guarded tightly by Dixon, trying to turn around. That's Elijah Brown now. Into the corner for Kalser. Plen saves it from going out of bounds. 5 seconds. He's doubled. Plen hits the deck hard, and we're going to get another whistle.
Yeah, and that's not a good foul by EHT. You have Plen with 3 seconds, a little less than 4 seconds to go in the half, moving away from the basket, and you just bang into him and knock him to the deck. And now the Prep's going to be able to run some kind of a play here to try to get off a final shot.
Jay Nelly Reyes, his first foul. This one goes way into the backcourt. Bethea, 2 to shoot, chucks one up, no good. 30-22, St. Augustine Prep owned the second quarter, led by as much as 10, and staved off a late EHT run there in the second quarter. So, Brian, we've had a good one. It's been back and forth, but right now the Prep, by way of that second quarter right there, owned the defensive end of things. EHT has to find their offense.
Well, the Prep really started to defend the three-point line a little bit better after EHT hit 3 early ones. And, the Eagles, EHT with only 4 field goals in that second quarter, and they were all 2-point baskets. And St. Augustine will have the basketball to start the second half and an opportunity to extend their lead to double digits here on the first possession.
Pleased you're with us here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Sold-out crowd here inside Egg Harbor Township High School. That was the chosen neutral site for this Cape Atlantic League final. She just happened to make it all the way to their home floor.
The Prep try to set play there, trying to get Brown open on the block right off the inbound, and actually Elliott did a nice job of shutting that off.
Oki Byron underneath, 2 men around him, puts one up, no good, and out of bounds it goes. It'll be EHT ball. Ife Oki Byron, Brian, was a guy who was deadly in that first half on the glass, and he made a lot of issue, or he caused a lot of issues, I should say, for EHT down low.
Yeah, he had 4 points and 8 rebounds, but he also had 4 turnovers. And speaking of turnovers, here's one here by EHT.
Kauser, that one tipped as he was looking for Brown. Out of bounds it goes. It'll stay with the Prep.
Well, that's a nice play by Gurman there. He prevented what would have been a wide-open layup attempt by Elijah Brown.
Bethea, good ball screen, and now that's Brown for 3. Too strong, and ball loose, picked up by Gurman on the rebound.
Great job by Wilkins to get inside there, tipped it to Gurman.
There's Rando now. Elliott, he thought about a 3. He'll take one dribble, shoot the 3.
You've been better off taking it the first time. Percentage goes way down once you put the ball on the floor from a standstill position.
That one was poked away for the moment, and now that one's going to go in for Samaj Bethea. And now Rando wasn't looking. Out of bounds it goes. And another turnover for EHT. I mean, it's amazing, Brian. They had 1 turnover in the first half. They already have 2 in the first minute.
Yeah, and it's the Prep by 10. And again, we talked about this first couple of minutes being critical for EHT, and it hasn't started well for the Eagles here.
Oki Byron for the Prep. Over to Kauser, straight on 3. Can't convert. Ball tipped out to Jameel Wilkins. Wilkins quickly, left-handed layup is good, and a much-needed bucket.
Wilkins did a great job of getting his body into Kauser's so he could create some space to be able to finish with the left hand.
Samaj Bethea going back to his right, into the paint. Right-handed scoop shot is no good, and a rebound for Gurman.
Good outlet
quickly now.
pass.
Here comes Jameel Wilkins, gonna lay it in for safety. Boy, the student section wanted a dunk, but hey, take your points there. Back to a 6-point lead.
Yeah, a little spurt here by the Eagles, and they needed this. 4 straight for Egg Harbor.
Brown along the right wing. Scott Bethea. They'll play catch underneath for Kauser, guarded by Wilkins, trying to back him down, putting one up, and no good, but a whistle. Wilkins can't believe it. That's his first of the half as well for EHT.
Yeah, the EHT coaching staff thought that Wilkins had his hand straight up, but obviously in the eyes of the official, he did not. And that'll send Kauser to the line for 2 shots.
Head coach Cameron Bell not pleased with that one as Kauser misses the first. At least from our vantage point, Brian, look like the hands were going straight up, but again, we are seated courtside, so we don't have the best vantage point down the other end.
One of the things about St. Augustine is, and Kauser, that was a rare miss for him from the line. He makes the second. This is an outstanding free throw shooting team, St. Augustine. You can't put them on the line with regularity.
J. Nelly Reyes will put it into the corner. Rando a three, no good, and a rebound for Friel. The looks are there, Brian, but now they have not been able to really convert on those since the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a wide open three there.
Bethea bringing it back out. That's Elijah Brown. They'll pull up for a two. He drills it. Hermit's back up by 9, so they end that little EHT spurt. This has been the story of the game since the first quarter ended. A little lob there to Wilkins, a little hop step, and he'll convert. So he answers on the other end, cuts it back down at 7.
Roy Wilkins has been very precise with his finishing along at the basket today. He's got 10.
With the way he's finishing him, he looks like the most athletic guy on the floor right now. That's actually unbelievable. Less than 5 to go, third quarter. Elijah Brown backs off, gets over to Kauser. He'll dribble to his left, little spin move, splitting the defense, puts one up and no good, but another whistle coming.
So Kauser will go to the line for 2 shots. This foul goes against J. Nelly Reyes. It's his second, team's second. St. Augustine is 3 for 4 from the line as a team to this point. Haven't been a lot of free throws in this game.
Kauser nails that one. He went 1 of 2 from his last trip at the charity stripe. But he's trying to go 2 of 2 here and see if we get a late substitution on for EHT.
Well, actually, it was Rando vacated his lane space as the ball was being bounced to Kauser, so they had to re-administer the free throw to Kauser. Timeout St. Augustine Prep.
Yeah, they nail it there. Or Kauser nails the second one there. 2 of 2 from the trip, a 9-point lead for St. Augustine.
So 30-second timeout, so the Prep has used both of their 30s, so they have their 3 fulls remaining. They've outscored EHT 7-6 so far in this third quarter.
Well, the Eagles are surely back into it, Brian, but the problem is they just can't get enough stops on the defensive end of things, and they've turned the ball over twice in this quarter when they only turned it over once in the entire first half.
Yeah, and again, their 3-point shooting woes. They started well, but they missed a couple of open ones in this period. Rando had a wide open one just a little bit ago in the corner and missed, and Elliott also missed one from the left wing.
We'll walk back down to this end of the floor as J. Nelly Reyes is going to inbound the ball. 4:49 to play, third quarter. Hermit's up top by 9. Gurman only had 4 points in that first half. They're going to try to get him going. Reyes now. Over to Wilkins in the corner. Reyes thought about it. He'll drive, dishing it back out. Rando. And now get over to Elliott.
Needed to be a better pass.
Rando for 3. Got it!
They get it anyway. Rando was wide open earlier for 3, but the pass wasn't very good. But he knocks it down later in the possession.
EHC pressing there, trying to cause a turnover. That'll at least be a confidence booster there for Christian Rando as Kauser goes to the dish. Got his own miss, poked away, and there's Rando.
Yeah, great play by Rando.
Gurman to Reyes to the hoop. He's got it. EHT just like that. 5 in a row, back down by 4. Elijah Brown going strong to the hoop. No good, but a whistle.
That's a good call.
Obviously, the Eagle-friendly crowd does not like that. That is Christian Rando's 3rd foul of the game.
Rando tried to wall up there, and Brown went around him, and Rando at the last second kind of threw his hip out, and that's where the contact occurred. And it's not a lot of contact, but Brown's an airborne shooter, and you have to protect those. And that's easily a foul as Brown went to the deck.
Well, Brown nails the first free throw, and here comes the good free throw shooting we mentioned before, Brian. Again, they only missed the one. That was Kauser that was a rare miss for him, but now Brown looking to make it a 2 of 2 from this trip.
Yeah, they're 6 for 7 from the line at this point and make it 7 for 8.
There it is, and just like that, the Hermits back up by 6. Jameel Wilkins in the corner for Rando. Gurman swinging over to J. Nelly Reyes. They'll drive near the baseline, puts one up, and now he draws a foul.
That's a good call, too. Thought the whistle might have been a little late, but it was the right call.
They're going to hit Oki Byron. That's his 3rd, Brian, and we know how big he is down low.
Yeah, he had the 8 rebounds in the first half.
He's not in big foul trouble yet, but 3, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, they're going to get him out, I believe, here. Noah Plent's coming to the scorer's table to check in for him as J. Nelly Reyes goes to the line for 2 shots.
And he drills the first right in front of the EHT student section. So Noah Plent comes in for the prep. Out goes Oki Byron. Christian Randall will take a seat for the Eagles. Jaden Dixon is back in for the black and silver. Reyes, 2 of 2. 4-point lead for the Hermits. Eagles pressing. Ball is loose, and they cannot get it. Here comes Bethea back the other way, coast to coast. Oh, he can't convert. Now Reyes up ahead. Here's DJ Gurman. Will take it himself. Puts one up. He's got it. Eagles are back within 2. Defense working out right now for the Eagles. Here comes Elijah Brown. Near the baseline, trying to turn around, pulls up. He's got it. We have a man down. It's Gurman. He looks like he is hurt near the crowd. We hope he's all right. We're going to have a stoppage for the moment as the prep goes back up by 4. Gurman is back to his feet, so he'll walk up under his own power. He's a little shaken up there.
Well, Gurman's going to have to come out, though, briefly.
And he's walking a little gingerly. In comes Jake Karp for the moment.
Yeah. Once EHT coach Cameron Bell went onto the floor to take a look at Gurman, he then has to come out of the game. And he'll be looked at on the bench. I'm sure he won't be over there for long. Hopefully that's not a serious injury. But he was limping a little bit, as you noted, when he went to the bench.
J. Nelly Reyes with the Eagles trailing by 4, 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Reyes into the paint corner. Elliott, 3, in and out. Wilkins tried to corral it, couldn't get it, and now Brown at the floor. Lost the ball out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be ruled prep ball, and J. Nelly Reyes is beside himself.
Well, and this may have been an instance, Nick, where the official is passing on a foul and simply giving St. Augustine the basketball.
Tough to tell from down here.
The EHT player, there's definitely some contact there.
That's Bethea in the corner for the prep. Top of the key now for Kauser.
Brown looked wide open on that scissor cut and didn't get the pass.
They wanted to walk there. Plent to the dish. He converts on the nice feed from Kauser.
Great backdoor cut by Noah Plent.
That's huge points off the bench for Ife Oki Byron, who's still seated right now for the Hermits. J. Nelly Reyes with 2:15 to go in the quarter. Karp.
That's a good
cross-court pass. Jaden Dixon for 3. He's got it! EHT converts.
That's a great pass by Karp.
Bethea the other way. What an answer!
And again, this is how you can't get on big runs against the prep. They just push the ball on their secondary break. That's a blocking foul.
Reyes
Yeah.
put one up, and that is, as you mentioned, Brian, that's a blocking foul. Wave off that basket attempt. And they're going to hit Rory Friel with that foul. It's his second. It's only the Hermits' second of the half as well. But now we'll have free throws here for the Eagles, trailing by 5.
Well, that was before the shot.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Wilkins off even. Oh, he's got it in the foul!
What a finish by Jamil Wilkins. And he's got 12 in the game, 8 in this period, and he's going to go to the line to try to bring EHT within 2, excuse me.
That was a tremendous effort played by Wilkins, so we actually will get a free throw here. So it all worked out for us at the broadcasting table.
This is his first trip to the line, in and out.
Tough for Wilkins. Bethea over to Brown now. He's going to back off now. Noah Plent. Underneath for Kauser. Guarded by Elliott. Pulls up. Kauser can't get it. A rebound there from Brown, and he's got it. Prep back up by 5. Again, the offensive boards are just killing EHT right now.
Brown with 8 in the period. He's got 18 for the game.
Reyes calling for some help. Still no DJ Gurman. They're going to try to get him back in the fourth quarter. Here's Keon Elliott dishing over to Karp. He thought about it. Over to Reyes. 3 ball. In and out, no good. A little over a minute to go, third quarter. See if the Prep can extend their 5-point lead. Bethea. Taking his time now.
Well, Cowser and Dixon are really battling in that low post down there. I mean, that's got to be a foul on Dixon. He's got both hands in his back, and he's displacing him.
They finally are going to call a foul. This one looks like is going to be on Dixon. That it is. That's his second.
I think they have to switch their matchups. They are. Now Dixon's going to pick up Plen, and J. Nelly Reyes will guard Cowser. Just put a little more size on him.
Plum with it at the top of the key underneath. Ball poked away. It's loose on the floor. Who's going to get it? And now it's stolen away by Wilkins. Wilkins has an opportunity. Puts one up, and he's got it. Good conversion for EHC off the turnover. Back down by 3. 30 seconds to go. Bethea almost lost the handle. They'll pull up now. Let's see if the Hermans can hang on for the last shot here. Reyes, tight defense on Bethea. Over to Plen. Brown drew some contact. And here comes a foul on EHT. That's J. Nelly Reyes. That's his third. And he's going to sub out real quick. And in comes DJ Gurman.
He wanted to go out. I think Reyes may have caught an elbow or a knee maybe in the stomach and lost his wind a little bit. He immediately turned around and said, I need to come out.
Well, Gurman's back in. He's got that right ankle taped up. He's guarding Bethea. Bethea to the left, driving, right-handed. Layup is good. 4 seconds. Can he actually get a shot off? Here's Gurman with 2. Puts one up at the buzzer. No good. And we're going to head to the fourth quarter with a St. Augustine Prep lead at 49-44. Well, that quarter right there, Brian, was a good one for EHC to get back into, but the Prep just converting on too many second chance opportunities for the Eagles to allow here.
Well, Egg Harbor Township on that last bucket just simply did not defend the high ball screen. Keon Elliott was nowhere to be found in hedging, and the Prep was able to get right down the lane to the basket, and Brown finished. And, EHT I thought was much better in this period with their half-court defense, but they certainly didn't end the period well. On that basket there by Brown, but and right now Brown is up to 18 points and has 11 rebounds in this game. So Elijah Brown has been the star for St. Augustine Prep. Friel with 10 through 3 quarters, Samaj Bethea with 8 for the Prep, and you have Jameel Wilkins and J. Nelly Reyes with 14 apiece for EHT through 3 quarters. So, and again, the turnovers are really what's keeping EHT in this game. The Prep has 10, and Egg Harbor's only turned it over 3 times. You mentioned it. Two of those turnovers came very early in the third quarter, but they've been taking care of the basketball pretty well. But again, they're also just shooting 5 for 24 on threes.
That's been their detriment today. Aside from the first quarter, Elliott on the baseline puts one up a little too strong, and now Cowser with the rebound, getting it over to Elijah Brown as we begin the fourth quarter here on Cape Atlantic League Live. Pleased you're with us. Nick Costco alongside Brian Kniff on the call with you. Matt Ulmer and Bill Shallcross are filming and producing today's broadcast.
We thank the Cape Atlantic League and Ulmer's Appliance for sponsoring these broadcasts today.
Tremendous event this afternoon. Packed house here at Egg Harbor Township High School. Cowser had that one poked away. A dive for it. It's loose, and now here comes J. Nelly Reyes. Coming the other way, puts one up, and he's got it. Ife Byron is back in for the Prep. Tried to go for that block, but really had no play on it. EHC back within 3.
And that was Rando again, knocking the ball to Reyes, who was able to get the wide open layup. Okie Byron couldn't track him down fast enough from behind.
This is what EHC has to take advantage of there and get back into this game, or at least take the lead back, I should say.
EHT hasn't led since very early in the second quarter.
Samaj Bethea top of the key over to Elijah Brown now. Still early fourth quarter. Prep up top by 3. Brown to his right, in the baseline, spins, and he drew some contact. No, that's going to be a travel, and EHT forces another turnover. Here comes Gurman back the other way. Elliott. Now Gurman. Reyes straight on three to tie. No good. And out of bounds it goes.
Wow. And, you know, Nick, Rando was stationed in the corner, and he started running back thinking that shot was going in. That rebound would have gone right to him if he either crashed the boards or even just stayed in place, but instead he started running back defensively.
That's a missed opportunity there for the Eagles. Roy Frio in the corner. Puts one up. Oh, it's a steal. DJ Gurn back the other way. He'll take it himself. He got stripped. He saved it. Here's Reyes. Good dish to Wilkins. He'll bring it out to Rando. Wilkins thought about a three, and now the Eagles are going to settle things down here with 6 minutes to play in the ball game.
That was a good decision there. Rather than forcing a shot, they pull it out and they'll look for something better.
Gurman back over to Reyes.
Got away with a walk.
Good move here. Left-handed scoop. Oh, it's no good, but he draws the foul.
And I thought he got away with a walk out here. I thought he shuffled his feet.
Elijah Brown the foul. That's his first. That's the fourth team foul for the Hermits. So now Reyes goes to the line for two. Puts it up. No good. So these are big free throws right now for the Eagles, but with Reyes missing that first one, he can only make it a 2-point game, which he will. This is the closest EHC's been since early second quarter. They trailed by as many as 10 today. Samaj Bethea going to his right, got a good pick, pulls up for two, couldn't get it. It's loose and a rebound for Elliott. EHC can tie with a two, take the lead with a three. Reyes quickly, hop step, puts it up, no good. Rebound there from Okie Byron, who ripped it down.
Not a good decision there. That was a difficult shot in traffic.
Cowser in the corner now for the Hermits. He'll take a three. Oh, and he drills it. That's a 5-point lead now for the Prep. Timely basket for Matt Cowser.
He's the one player on the floor you absolutely cannot leave open. He is a lethal outside shooter.
In the corner now, Rando. Over to Gurman. I beg your pardon, that's Elliott who drills the three. He answers.
EHT calls a timeout, and they're back to within two again with 4:44 to go.
Keon Elliott. That was timely.
And if I'm St. Augustine, Nick, I'm going to try to run something here that has some kind of ball screen action in it. EHT has not defended it well at all. The Prep had about a 16-foot jumper, a wide open jumper on the last possession that missed. But the player guarding the screener is not doing a good job for EHT hedging out. And they got away with it on that possession. But I'm sure the St. Augustine Prep coaching staff is seeing the same thing I'm seeing. And EHT's got to start doing a better job of defending the ball screen. But they have done a great job in getting back into this game. They haven't gotten over the hump yet, but they've cut a 10-point deficit to 2, and we've got plenty of basketball left with 4:44 on the clock.
Yeah, we do. Not even halfway through this fourth quarter yet. We've had a wild one this afternoon. Of course, the Mainland girls took down Atlantic City in the first game of this doubleheader right here on Cape Atlantic League Live to win their second straight Cape Atlantic League title on the girls' side of things. EHT took down Mainland in the semifinals earlier this week. They were the defending champs on the boys' side of things. So the EHT finally able to play for their first conference title in school history. Down by 2, though. Prep looking for their first since 2017. Samaj Bethea will dish it over to Elijah Brown. Stumbled a bit, lost the handle, stolen away by Dixon. Gurman up ahead with the clean pass, lays it in. We are tied.
Boy, EHT, they have had very quick hands defensively over this run here in the second half.
Bethea almost lost it. Now he did. Oh, we're going to get a whistle. Crowd doesn't like it. And the foul goes to Christian Rando. That's big, Brian. That's his fourth.
Yeah, and you know what? EHT fans think that he got it cleanly, but Rando's mistake there was, once, and I think they're going to call this foul on the floor, but he needed to step up and wall up in help side, and instead he stayed under the rim and reached. And it's going to give St. Augustine the basketball underneath in a tie game with 4:13 to go.
That one's tough. The inbound here to Elijah Brown. Bethea.
That's great defense by Gurman.
Lost it.
And
It's
great
stolen
defense
away.
by Elliott.
Reyes. Oh, here comes Jamil Wilkins. He'll take it himself. Oh, and it goes in. Can you believe that?
Boy, that was an unbelievable athletic play by Brown, but the ball went in the basket anyway.
We're going to get a timeout on the floor. The EHT Eagles have come all the way back, and they have a 2-point lead with 3:56 to play. Brian, I thought that shot was blocked cleanly, and Wilkins had enough strength on it, it rolled in.
Boy, that was some kind of play by Brown to give himself a chance to get back in there and prevent a basket. And it just shows you his level of athleticism, but Wilkins was able to finish it anyway. And it's a 10-3 run to start the fourth quarter by Egg Harbor Township to take this 2-point lead with 3:56 to go. And Paul Rodeo expressing his displeasure to one of the officials.
It is getting tense here in Egg Harbor Township. Already halfway through this fourth quarter.
Close to a sellout here at EHT. And, I know people have different opinions, Nick. This is a high school tournament. I think it should be played in the high school gym. I love it like this. I know people love Stockton. And the league's moved away from there last couple of years.
I mean, it's so tough to beat this atmosphere right now.
Absolutely.
EHT, one of the biggest gyms in South Jersey overall. Certainly probably the biggest in the Cape Atlantic League.
Yeah, if it's not, it's close. It's got to be one of the bigger ones in South Jersey. You're right.
That pass is stolen away.
That was not a good pass there by Bethea.
Look at this dish. Wilkins puts EHT up by 4.
Boy, EHT, they're like sharks in the water smelling blood right now.
Boy, that is unbelievable. The student section is beside themselves right now. Brown, awkward shot. Rebound, Gurman. Wilkins now.
EHT got away with not having good help side there.
Here's Gurman. A little over 3 minutes to play. The Eagles are up by 4. They trailed by as much as 10 in that first half.
EHT spreading the floor a little bit here. He'll take some air out of the ball, up 4 as we move inside 3 minutes now.
They definitely want a dagger of a bucket, but the Prep could score in a hurry as we've seen so far this afternoon. Here's J. Nelly Reyes, guarded by Elijah Brown. Reyes calling for assistance. Wilkins doubled. Reyes left open. Going by Oki Byron. Puts one up. No good. Loose, and Friel gets the rebound.
That's not a good shot. And Reyes looks like he took another shot. He's got to come out of the game here.
That one off the mark for Kauser. Brown there to clean it up, and the Prep back within 2. We're going to get a whistle, and I believe we're just going to get a quick substitution.
Yeah, right.
It's like Reyes took another shot to the gut. Lost the wind again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Reyes is battling an illness. He took that shot, and he actually, let's just say, asked for a bucket. EHT by 2. Boy, this has really turned into a good one here. Less than 2.5 to go.
Wilkins. A little over 2 minutes to play.
Wilkins has got to be careful.
Gurman doubled.
Wilkins turned his back to the defense while dribbling. And Brown's smart enough to go to school on that. And he may try to come in for a steal if he does that move again.
Officially 2 minutes to play. Wilkins doubled. Elliott now cross-court pass. That's Rando in the corner. Underneath, Dixon to the dish. No good. Oki Byron a rebound. Now the Prep can tie with a 2 or take the lead with a 3.
Dixon seemed unsure of himself as he went to the basket.
Brown, hop step, left hand. He ties the game.
He got fouled too.
Unbelievable. He's going to go to the line for the three-point play. Count that basket. They're going to hit Wilkins with the foul. The Prep can take the lead with a free throw. J. Nelly Reyes is back in. Dixon takes a seat. Could not be any more intense in this gym.
Brown to give the Prep the lead here again.
And it's in and out. A rebound. Kauser lost the ball, and we're going to get a whistle. And they're going to nail Wilkins again. That's his third. And now Kauser will go to the line.
So the failure by EHT to box out is going to send the best free throw shooter in the gym to the line.
He is shooting 2 here. 18 fouls for EHT, and Kauser nails the first.
Kauser now 4 for 5 from the line.
Boy, how big does that one miss loom large right now in terms of the lead? As Kauser misses another one and a rebound for Elliott.
Another rare miss for Kauser.
Gurman up the floor, into the paint, lost the handle, stolen away. Elijah Brown will take it himself, coast to coast. He can't convert as Rado pulls it down the miss. J. Nelly Reyes, under 90 seconds to play, EHT trails by 1, splits a double team, puts one up, but hang on, we had a whistle before that shot. And it is a foul on the Prep.
You know, obviously we have headsets on, Nick, but it's so loud in here, it's awfully hard to hear the whistle sometimes.
Certainly is. Almost feels like there's a couple whistles in the crowd, too.
It was actually a fortunate foul because EHT was going to get a wide open layup there.
Foul was on Elijah Brown, his second. Elliott
Great
over to
pass.
Reyes. Three-pointer for the lead. No good. Rebound, Kauser. Tough to take those right now in a close game, and time's wasted. 1:12. Here's Bethea.
EHT's in the penalty, so any foul's going to send the Prep to the line here.
They're going to need a stop or a steal. Brown into the paint, puts one up. No good. Got his own miss and converts. The Hermits are up by 3. Almost a steal here as Wilkins will take up the floor, and now we're going to get another whistle. So we're going to get a timeout from EHT.
Brown with 24 in the game. He's got 14 in the second half.
What a game. EHT stormed all the way back to take the lead, led by as much as 4. But now the Prep has answered late in this fourth quarter. They have a 3-point lead, 54 seconds to go.
This is important for EHT. They're down 3, but there's 54 seconds to go in the game. There is no need to shoot a 3 here. You know, if you get one wide open out of the course of your offense, then of course with a good shooter you would take that shot, but they don't absolutely need a 3. They can go in and get a 2, try to defend a little bit, get a steal, and then eventually foul if they have to. But there's plenty of time left here. You just don't want to chuck up an ill-advised 3 at this point with this much time on the clock, 54 seconds. That's an eternity, especially because I believe EHT still has 2 timeouts left.
Well, 54 seconds to go. Couldn't get any more intense right now.
I think we have some...
a little wet spot on the court, so we're going to hold off resuming action just for a moment. Well, despite the seedings, Brian, Prep number 1, EHT number 3, I mean, this certainly seems like a battle between the 2 best teams in this conference right now.
No doubt. I mean, EHT has certainly answered the bell here, especially after they went down 10. They actually had a 4-point lead a little bit ago, and now the Prep's up by 3.
J. Nelly Reyes with 43 seconds to go. Let's see if he goes for the tie here. He'll drive inside, left hand. Oh, he's fouled because he switched to the right hand. So he'll go to the line. And that's going to be on Oki Byron. That's his 4th for the Prep.
Reyes is 3 for 5 from the line. He's 3 for 4 in the second half. 39 seconds to go. And this is when when you're losing a game, this is important as he makes the first. Is that it's an opportunity to score points with the clock stopped.
Ife Oki Byron's going to check out for the Prep. Roy Friel is back in, and now again, it's late in the game, but still, he's in foul trouble. But with him off the floor, Brian, for who knows how long, EHC might be able to take advantage.
Their offense for defensing him here. I'm sure he'll go back in on the next defensive possession if there's a dead ball.
EHC
Second free
pressing.
throw is good.
Where's this ball going to go? It's ripped. What do we get? Oh, I think we're going to get a foul here. J. Nelly Reyes wanted a jump ball, and that is Reyes' fourth, with EHC trailing by just a point. Let's walk the floor for the 1-and-1. As you mentioned, Brian, that's the strategy for the Prep. Oki Byron's back in already.
Well, Bethea did a great, he got trapped in a bad spot, but he did a great job of being ball strong there, and he drew the foul. And this is a 1-and-1. 35 seconds to go, and the Prep leading by 1.
Bethea's first is good. That's a big one. Hermit's up by 2.
Bethea with 9 in the game. He's got 7 in the second half.
Based on the way it's been going today, Brian, EHC better be ready for a miss because the Prep has been deadly on the offensive glass. Bethea's second. No good. It's loose. Who has it? It is EHC ball.
Kauser's incensed. I thought the ball went off of Kauser, though.
Paul Rodeo is heated by the Prep bench. But that's a huge miss. You don't need a 3 now, Brian. They could tie with a 2.
33 seconds.
Will the Eagles hang on for the final possession here? They can win with a 3. Reyes will drive. Triple team. They'll swing it around. Rando for the lead. Yes! Yes! EHT has a lead. A steal. Hang on. We're going to get a timeout.
There's a timeout called.
My goodness. What a sequence.
Well before the steal, as soon as the ball went in the basket, Cameron Bell called a timeout.
EHT looked like they had a steal after the bucket. They're up by a point, but it was a timeout, as you mentioned, Brian, from the EHT bench. What a clutch shot from Christian Rando. And now, with 14 seconds, the Prep down by a point. This could be the most important possession you'll see in years.
Now 61-60, EHT with the lead. That's Rando's second field goal. It's his second 3, both in the second half. And EHT has the 61-60 lead with 16.3 to go. Any foul by EHT defensively here would send the Prep to the line for 2 shots. So there's no fouls to give. And the possession arrow, if it becomes an issue, is in St. Augustine's favor.
What a game. What a thriller. This will be an instant classic here in South Jersey. That'll be talked about for years to come. The EHT Eagles looking for their first Cape Atlantic League title in school history. They're back up by a point courtesy of Christian Rando's 3-pointer. Kauser to inbound. EHT, if they foul, they're going to send the Prep to the line for 2. Good D here so far. Elijah Brown up the floor. He tripped. He lost the ball. It's picked up by EHT. Wilkins coming on in. It's a 3-point lead for the Eagles. 5 seconds to go and a timeout for the Prep. EHT, can you believe this?
There was some contact there on Brown as he was dribbling up. There was no whistle, and then Brown lost his footing and went to the deck.
The officials are coming to the scores table. I don't think, let's see if they're going to fix the clock here.
I think they're going to add, I think they're going to add some time here.
Yeah, they put .7 back on, so there's 6 seconds now. But EHT, again, has the lead by 3, so now the Prep must take a 3 to tie the game. Paul Rodeo is still heated for the Prep, as he, as you mentioned, Brian, thought there was a foul down there in the corner.
Yeah, well, up here at half court. Brown, I thought, had gotten through that contact and then fell on his own, but there was no call either way, and EHT gets the wide open layup. Now, what comes into play here, Nick, is different basketball people think differently on this. But does EHT elect to foul and send the prep to the line rather than have them have a chance to get a three-pointer off?
Well,
EHT may allow the prep to get the ball to half court and then maybe take a foul.
I'll tell you what, John Rothstein always says foul up 3. Bethea with 4 to shoot. Needs a 3 to tie. Bethea puts one up. No good. EHT has won their first Cape Atlantic League title in school history.
What a basketball game. As EHT pours out onto the court to celebrate. And
absolute pandemonium in Egg Harbor Township. What an absolute classic. EHT wins it on their home floor, 63-60. Christian Rando will get credit for that game-winning shot. Tremendous defense in the second half. Brian, I've seen a lot of great basketball games. This one might take the cake.
Oh, that was as good as it gets at the high school level. That's a terrific basketball game. I thought some of the difference late. I honestly thought St. Augustine lost a little composure, and I mentioned it. EHT was turning them over left and right at the end of or in that fourth quarter. And turnovers were a problem for St. Augustine the entire game. We'll get the full stats momentarily, but a tremendous win for EHT as they win the Cape Atlantic League Championship, 63-60. They come back from a 10-point deficit in the second half. And you look at the turnovers, Nick. St. Augustine, 17 turnovers, EHT just 4. There's the difference in the game. The absolute difference in the game is right there. The prep out-rebounded EHT 2-1, 42-21. The prep shot nearly 50% from the floor, 24 for 49. But EHT with that defense, as they turn St. Augustine over 17 times in the game to just only their 4. And, their aggressiveness and, their toughness really won this basketball game down the stretch.
I'm sweating. I don't know about you. It was unbelievable. What a absolute thriller here at Egg Harbor Township High School. Christian Randall's going to have a highlight for the rest of his life with that three-pointer to take the lead by a point. A timely bucket by EHT in the end off another turnover. Take a 3-point lead. And the stout defense was there for the Eagles all day long, and it finally paid off in the end. Then EHT, Brian, erased a 10-point deficit in that second quarter. Truly unbelievable. It looks like we are going to get Jay Nelly Reyes.
All right, Jay Nelly, first of all, congratulations, my man. That was a terrific basketball game. What can you say about winning the Cape Atlantic League Championship?
It feels good. We made history, first team to win the Cal playoff game and also to win the championship in the same year. It's crazy. It doesn't feel real right now. A lot of emotions going through my head. And it just feels good doing it with the same players. I've been playing it for a long time. And words can't explain my emotions right now.
What do you think led to your comeback? You were down 10 in the second half at one point. Your defense really seemed to pick up. And what do you think turned it around for you?
We didn't shake at all. We knew we were down. Last time we played them and we came back, so we just did it again. We're a really hard-fought team. And, we play together and play with confidence, and we're really well coached.
Jay, what does this win mean? What does this win mean to you guys? Considering you said before you are the first champions in school history.
It just puts we're always going to be remembered the first to do it. And it just really, we're all really humble and really honored to be in this position right now. And I want to just thank all my teammates and my parents and everyone coming out. You see everybody here right now. It's a lot of support, and I just, oh my God, it's crazy, but. just to be remembered in school history just feels really good.
Last one for you, Christian Rando. What can you say about him with that last shot?
That wasn't the drawn play, but shooter's gonna shoot, and that's what he does. Catching it rhythm right off his fingertips, you knew we was going in. So then we just had to get the stop, and that's what we did.
Jay Nelly Reyes, thank you very much, man. Congratulations.
Good job. Great job. Great job. Congratulations.
Jay Nelly Reyes is your game MVP as well.
Yeah, I guess Jay Nelly finishes with 19 points, 3 steals, also had 3 rebounds. Only shot 6 for 18 from the floor, but was 5 for 7 from the foul line. Before we go off, we'll try to get Cameron Bell, the EHT coach. They're going to take some pictures, though, now.
I got to tell you, Brian, he was so excited. A great young man playing basketball right there. He could barely hear us. We could barely hear ourselves. This place is still so loud as you see EHT celebrate their first Cape Atlantic League title.
When you look at the stats, again, we mentioned the turnovers. That's where EHT won it. But, some of these stats by the Prep, it's almost hard to believe they lost the game. Elijah Brown, 24 points, 13 rebounds. Matt Kauser, 11 points, 11 rebounds. Rory Friel, 10 points. Ife Oki Byron, 4 points, 10 rebounds, 9 points for Samaj Bethia. And 2 points for Noah Plen. For EHT, Jamil Wilkins led them with 20. We mentioned Jay Nelly Reyes with 19, DJ Gurman with 8, 6 for Christian Rando, 7 for Keon Elliott, and 3 points for Jaden Dixon. But a terrific win by EHT on their home floor at basically a pretty close to sold-out gymnasium. And to win their first ever Cape Atlantic League championship and to do it at home has to feel real special for those young men and their coaching staff.
We'll see if we can track down head coach Cameron Bell in a few moments. But Brian, what does this do for a program like EHT? This is obviously the biggest win in school history to date, but they still have the South Jersey playoffs coming up in just a couple of days where they are a 3 seed. So this might not be done yet for Cameron Bell and the Eagles.
A few years ago when a couple of these kids were freshmen, you started to see it turn the corner. And that was the year that EHT, they were either a 15 or 16 seed, won, I believe it was 3 games in the state tournament, won at least 2. And over the last couple of seasons, obviously you had a COVID interruption, and over the last couple of seasons, they've been one of the best teams. And they got knocked out early in the state tournament last year, and for them to do what they did here today, it really signifies how far they've come as a program. 5 senior starters, and you couldn't feel better for them and their coach.
No, not at all. So it is absolutely mind-boggling when you see the job that head coach Cameron Bell has done to turn this program around. We'll see if we can grab him real quick. As my broadcast partner Brian Kniff bringing him over to the table here. We'll get to talk to him for a few moments to get his reaction to this epic win for his Eagles, 63-60 over St. Augustine Prep, and it couldn't have felt any better to do it than on the home floor. As you just happen to get the home court advantage, or you get the home court based on having the luck of the draw, really, and they went through the entire tournament, avenged their loss to Mainland from last year's tournament in the semifinals just the other day, and they managed to go back and forth here with St. Augustine Prep, who, we have to remind you, had a 10-point lead in this game at one point after EHT led after the first quarter, and the Prep really was dominating despite turning the ball over numerous times.
Yeah,
they're clearing it here.
Yeah, we're waiting for EHT coach Cameron Bell to come over. And Jay Nelly Reyes, well-deserved, as he's standing there holding the MVP trophy. And now here comes Cameron Bell.
Well, he's been talked about a lot, rebuilding this program.
All right, well, first of all, Coach, congratulations. What a win, what a win, and to do it on your home floor.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
To have it, talk about it for your seniors. This has been something you've been building for a few years here, and your seniors pulled it off for you.
I mean, that senior group, I can't say enough about them, particularly number one, DJ Gurman. Because DJ Gurman had started for me since the day he stepped foot on this campus, and he's been through it all. And to do it for him and Jay Nelly Reyes and Christian Rando and Keon Nelly and Jamil Wilkins, even though Mill didn't start with us, he's always been an EHT kid. He's always been, I felt like, one of mine. And it just means the world to me for those kids.
Down 10 in the second half. What do you think turned the tide for you?
What turns the tide every game for us? Defense. Like, we locked in our defense. We went to the diamond, which is kind of our go-to when we get a little trouble because we got to turn up the pace. It's on the defensive end.
Yeah, the pass finds its way to Christian Rando's hands, and the way he reacted, it was almost like his eyes lit up. He really wanted to take that shot. What can you say about the one he knocked down that gave you the lead?
He's been shooting all year long, and we knew we were going to get one of two things on that set. Either Nelly was going to get all the way to the basket, or we were going to get a wide open three. That was it. That was the only way they had to play it, and we got the three.
Coach, what can you say about this atmosphere? Obviously, you had the fortune of playing on your home court this afternoon. This crowd was absolutely – I've never seen a crowd like this inside this high school. What can you say about the student body and this school as a whole?
I mean, I didn't have to say, again, being an alumni, just the energy that these people give all of us, the town gives us, and the building was electric all day. Absolutely electric. And I got to be honest, like it feels good to be at home. Like, I realize we're the road team, but this is our gym.
One more for you, Coach. What does this do for your team? This is obviously the biggest win in school history to date. There could be a lot more coming up this week in the playoffs. I mean, what kind of message does this send to your team going into the South Jersey playoffs?
I mean, the message it sends is what we've been saying all year long. We can play with anybody in the state of New Jersey. And I think now these guys truly believe it, and we're not done here. Like, we had a big goal, and that big goal is a state championship. So it starts on Tuesday.
All right, Cameron
Coach.
Bell, thanks.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
guys.
Appreciate it. Congratulations,
So
Coach.
EHT wins it 63-60 over St. Augustine Prep, coming back from a 10-point deficit. And, of course, in the girls' game that was held earlier, Mainland beating Atlantic City 46-26 for the girls' title. So what a day here, Nick, at the Cape Atlantic
Yeah,
League,
you're telling me what an absolute amazing afternoon here at Egg Harbor Township High School. 2 champions crowned, Mainland girls, as you mentioned, EHT with their first title in school history. But that's going to do it for us. What an afternoon. Big thanks to Matt Ulmer and Bill Shalcross for filming and producing today's broadcast. Ulmer's Appliance Service for sponsoring this broadcast.